Laura Howlett is suing her ex-boyfriend, William Lloyd, for a loan to pay his taxes. William claims the money was actually a gift.
How old are you, Mr. Lloyd?
38.
What kind of work do you do?
I drive a truck.
How long have you been doing that for a living?
7 years.
Before that, what did you do?
Mechanic, auto mechanic.
Always make a living?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any family?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have?
2 sons,
How old are they?
18 and 16.
Have you supported them over the years?
Yes, ma'am.
They don't live with you.
No, ma'am.
Pay your taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this particular occasion, you owe the IRS some money,
Yes, ma'am.
which means at some point you didn't pay all the taxes you were supposed to pay.
Somehow, during my W-2s, my dependents got messed up. That's why I owe taxes.
Well, your dependents didn't get messed up. You've always had only 2 sons, right? They weren't messed up.
No, ma'am. Talk about on the regular taxes you feel at the beginning of the year. I had more dependents on it than what I should have. That's why I owe taxes.
Well, when you had more dependents, where did you get them from?
Ma'am, I only have 2 children.
Right. So how could you have more dependents?
I filled out the paper wrong for my taxes.
Fine. And whose problem was that?
That was mine.
And whose mistake was that?
That was mine.
Whose bad was that?
That was my bad.
And Miss Howlett, this is your case.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
And he had this debt to the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
You paid the debt according to the IRS for him.
I did.
And you want him to pay you back. And Mr. Lloyd says it was very nice of you to pay that debt, but it was a gift. You took that upon yourself, and he has no intention of paying you back.
Not at all. No.
So how long did you know him before you paid this debt?
We started dating in May 2006, and I paid the debt August 24th, 06.
You a working lady?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a dispatcher.
Trucks?
Yes, for a petroleum company.
Is that the trucking company he works for?
No.
No, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
Do you ever watch this program?
I do.
When you watch this program and you see women standing in the position that you're in,
I know.
and you say to yourself, how could they be so stupid? What did they see in him? Why would they want to take their hard-earned money and give it to that piece of nothing? I would never do anything so stupid. Didn't you say that to yourself?
I did, and I'd say it to myself now about myself.
So tell me how it came about.
We started dating May 06. We got serious pretty quick. I discussed with him moving in with me when his lease was up September 15th.
Okay.
Yes. He kept getting the bill from the IRS that he had made a payment plan.
He made a payment plan with the IRS?
With the IRS, yes.
What was your payment plan with the IRS?
$100 a month.
That sounds great, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened?
I was making $100 payments a month.
And were you living together at the time?
By the second payment, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry.
And she saw you making this $100 payment.
Yes, ma'am. When I would go over to her house, I would give her $100 cash.
So you would give her $100 in cash?
Yes, ma'am. And then she would pay it over the computer. Just simpler than send it by.
To the IRS?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
good. Go ahead.
And then the third payment, of which we're here for now, for I don't know why, she was on a computer, and I asked her if she would make my payment for me. And she said, yeah, when she got done what she was doing. And so I was sitting on the couch watching TV, so I said, I'll be up there in a few minutes, and I'll give you the money. So I watched TV, and I went upstairs and gave her the $100. And I don't know exactly what she verbatim, but she had paid it off, my whole entire balance that I owed the IRS. I never asked her to, I never begged her to, I never even brought it up.
Good. So you had the $100 in your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with the $100?
I gave her the $100.
Did she take it?
I believe so.
Oh, so she paid the $21.97 to the IRS, and you gave her $100, which she accepted because you were paying her instead of paying the IRS.
Right, for my $100 payments.
Right. Keep going.
After I gave her the $100, I assumed that she made a $100 payment, just like she had done for me before.
Right.
And then turned around and she had paid it off.
So?
I never asked her to, I never...
No. And what happened the next month? Did you give her $100 next month?
No, ma'am.
Did she ask you for it?
That month, I believe I had moved out by that time.
Oh, did you try to give her the $100?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
'Cause I didn't
You gave
feel
her the $100 the month before when she had paid off the whole thing, and she took it?
I gave her the $100 before I knew that she had paid off
Yeah,
it
but
off in
sir,
full.
then you understood because she accepted the $100 that instead of her going on her computer every month to pay the IRS, she paid it off, and you would pay her back the $100 a month.
No, ma'am. I paid her $100, assuming that she was making the $100 payment for me.
But she accepted it. Didn't you hear me?
Yes. But I had made the payment after the fact she had told me she had paid it off. If I asked her to pay it off, why would I set up a payment plan with her when I already had it with the IRS? You understand what I'm saying?
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes, ma'am.
Who screwed up with the IRS?
Most of the people at the IRS.
No. Who screwed up with the people at the IRS? I'm talking to you. Who screwed up with the IRS? Say, I did, Your Honor.
As far as making these payments?
Who screwed up with the IRS?
I did, Your Honor.
That's right. And who owed the IRS money?
I did at the time.
And who was it that spent the money that they didn't pay in taxes that they should have? Who would that be?
That would be me.
Pay your own taxes.
Yes, ma'am.
You do a crime, you pay your own penalty. You owe the IRS money. There are certain things that are positive in this life, sir. One is death.
And taxes.
And taxes. Everybody has to pay them. What kind of pain is there if somebody else pays your taxes? Do not answer me, sir. If you get away without paying your taxes, sir, by saying, well, she paid it off, so I don't have to pay the IRS back $100 a month until they're all paid off, what lesson does that teach you? What lesson does that teach you?
That you shouldn't let nobody else try to do a favor for you and pay your own bills. I never asked her to do this.
Are you paying careful attention to me, Mr.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Lloyd? You don't ask somebody to do your prison time for you, and you don't ask somebody else to pay your taxes for you. And if they do so because you had a payment plan with the IRS, and somebody says, look, I'm going to be a nice person, instead of us going through this drill every month, you give me the $100, which she took, clearly, when she paid off the whole bill, in anticipation of every month you paying her $100. Instead, you moved out. You owe $2,097 because you paid the $100. Goodbye. Listen to me. Watch better next time.
I will. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
22-year-old Ted Boyer is suing his ex-roommate, 21-year-old Chris Figlewitz, for vandalizing his property, the return of a security deposit, and an assault.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 321 on the calendar in the matter of Boyer versus Figlewitz. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Mr. Boyer, how long were you and the defendant roommates?
For approximately 6 months.
Were you going to school?
Yes.
What school?
Golden West College.
What were you studying?
Graphic design.
And you?
I go to Musicians Institute.
Were you friends before you moved in together?
Yes, ma'am.
Quick study. This is your complaint, Mr. Boyer, that this idiot decided to play a little prank on you and sprayed your room with urine, destroying your mattress and your computer. Now, Mr. Figlewitz says it was just a little urine, and it could not possibly have destroyed your mattress because he just got it on the edge of the comforter.
Yep. Yes, Judge Judith.
And that it certainly did not go on the computer. In addition, on the same day, he assaulted you, and you were injured. You have photographs to show me.
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition to that, after you, because immediately after this you moved out, you never got your security deposit back. Now, the defendant says he never assaulted you, and you didn't get your security deposit back because you didn't come and clean up the apartment, right?
Yes, that's true, and also he didn't pay all his bills either.
I don't have a counterclaim. Okay. When did you move in?
August 2004.
And when was this incident with the urine?
Late February.
Tell me what happened.
It's kind of a funny story. I came home from work one night, and they were out partying, and there was probably like 4 or 5 people over. And it was a common occurrence at the house. There was always a lot of people over, and at that time, I was working and going to school, so it wasn't my main point of interest to be partying all the time. And I had just become fed up with it after a while. So I was staying at my girlfriend's house, Asia, for the last 3 months because of not only the pranks that were going on, plus the partying. So I decided I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to deal with this tonight. So I take a couple of DVDs over to Asia's house, and we're going to go watch them. I come back because I forgot the ones that we meant to watch, and find the defendant, Mr. Figlewitz, in my room coming out with a spray bottle and laughing.
I was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, we're like, what are you doing in my room? That's inappropriate in the first place. And he just laughs and runs outside. And we're like, where are you going? What are you running outside, so we go outside, and he's obviously drunk at this point. So I begin to ask him what he was doing. Ultimately, I get him to admit that he was spraying urine in my room out of a spray bottle. And
Just a second.
yes.
How did it get in the spray bottle?
You know, you use your imagination.
I don't want to use my imagination.
I
want
went
you
in
to
the bathroom
tell
and filled it up.
how much of the spray bottle.
Maybe.
Show me how big the spray bottle was.
It was like this big. I maybe filled up that much.
And then did you put some water in it?
No.
So it was straight urine.
Yeah.
See, the reason I don't like to use my imagination is if you do something stupid, I like 10 million people to hear that you've done something stupid. That's my joy in life. When did this idea foment in your brain that I'm going to go into the bathroom and instead of urinating in the toilet, like most people do, I'm going to go to the bathroom and get a spray bottle, whatever was in the spray bottle, I'm going to dump out. And then I'm going to fill this up, and I want to know, when during the course of the evening did that idea foment in your brain?
It was pretty spontaneous.
It was spontaneous because you had had enough to drink to make it spontaneous?
No.
Were you annoyed at Mr. Boyer?
A little bit, but
Okay, so you were a little annoyed.
yeah.
What were you annoyed about, sir? You're never going to know where I'm going, so don't try to figure it out, sir. You think I'm going to zig, and I guarantee you I'm going to go the other way. So just try telling me the truth. You'll be a much happier person and much less embarrassed.
I mean, there was pranks on both parts. Like, I found a can of my mattress between my box spring
When was that?
a few days before
Had you done that?
No.
How did you know it was him?
because I had my other roommate and he told me it was, so
Maybe it was your other roommate trying to get off the hook.
could be. But
Could be,
I doubt
right?
it.
Okay. Why else were you mad at him?
I just felt unappreciated because I paid for everything. I furnished the whole place and spent like $5,000 on all new stuff, and he would always comment that my furniture was tacky or whatever, or my paintings were.
So first, he did a prank, you thought, on you, but really you were annoyed with him
Yeah.
because he didn't appreciate you enough. I appreciate you. Let me see pictures. I didn't hear about the assault yet.
After I basically caught him red-handed, we went outside and we were having an argument, and some of my friends were, or his friends, were intervening to make sure nothing physical started to happen. Obviously, I wasn't going to try to do anything. That's not my character. So he comes around and kicks me. We were standing on stairs, mind you, or he was standing 2 stairs above me, kicks me, and I stumbled down, knocked my hand on a beer bottle. It broke and shattered in my arm.
That's untrue.
And I also have a police report.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
So you got some scratches on your arms, no stitches, is that right?
No stitches.
Okay.
I wasn't able to go to work the next day. I wait tables, or I did wait tables at the time, so it's obviously inappropriate to have open wounds.
Miss Asia, step up, please. I want you to tell me what you observed outside.
Okay. Chris went out of the house after we approached him about the situation. We were upset about it because that's disgusting. I sleep there too. I was standing right there on top of the stairs. Ted was on the stairs as well. His friends started getting between the two of them. Then finally something was said and Chris kicked Ted, and then Ted went down the stairs.
Where did he kick him?
He kicked him, probably hit him about your waist or hip.
Oh, in the
With his
stomach.
with his foot.
With his foot,
Yeah.
because that's where he could reach him. Ted flew forward and then hit his arm on the wall where the beer bottle was.
Backwards.
Go ahead.
That's not how it really happened. I ran out, I went in the bathroom, and then I walked outside, and then she was, saying, like, Ted's twice my size, he's gonna kick my, excuse me. Then he was angry, and he came at me, and in defending myself, I pushed him away with my foot, and he scraped his arm on the stucco
That's
wall.
not true, Your Honor.
It didn't have any glass in it or anything. I guess he knocked over a beer bottle, but there was no glass in his arm or anything like that.
I heard the whole thing too, Your Honor.
Well, I'd like you to stand up and tell me your name.
I'm Katie Carlson, and I was in the room when he sprayed the urine.
What were you doing in the room?
Laughing.
Well, that's stupid.
I know, it was
How
stupid.
drunk were you?
I wasn't drunk at all. And Chris had probably had like 2 beers. He wasn't drunk either.
You mean he did this act of stupidity sober?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was in the room and
I'm just interested in what happened outside.
when Ted walked in, I had been in the room with Chris and I walked out.
Listen to me very carefully, my dear.
Okay.
Get out to the stairs.
So I heard Ted and Asia both just really violently harassing Chris. They were both saying that Ted's twice your size, he's gonna kick your, and Chris was just totally like, you know, I'm sorry, I admit it, I'm sorry. And Ted came up the stairs at Chris. Chris put his foot out, defended him. Sorry.
Just a second, stop. Were you outside or did you hear this?
I did not see the fight.
So don't tell me what you saw
Well,
if you didn't see anything.
I heard them yelling and harassing him, and I heard Chris admitting fault, apologizing, and he was making such below-the-belt comments.
Just listen to me.
Right.
Did you see
No.
anything?
No.
Then you may sit down.
Okay.
What? You know, sometimes some of these cases that we do, it makes me not want to buy government bonds. What happened to your computer?
Well, after the whole occurrence,
What happened to your computer?
it didn't work.
Had it worked before?
Yes.
Untrue. That's untrue.
You've got a lot of things that are untrue.
We only had one computer hooked up to the internet because his didn't work, and he used my roommate's computer all the time because his computer never
Does
worked.
that sound right?
I didn't have
Don't play.
I didn't have internet on my computer.
Okay, but the computer
But the
itself...
computer itself didn't work.
Do you have
That's
a
not
bill
true.
to fix the computer?
Yeah, well, I threw that computer away simply because the urine stench was on it. It was disgusting. And I bought a new computer. I don't expect to get the full amount for my new computer. I just want to be compensated for, you know, what the old computer was worth.
Well, what was it worth?
I was waiting for you to judge on that.
I don't even know how to turn on a computer. I have no idea what your old computer cost. I have no idea of what its value was. And you don't come into court asking the judge to figure out what that is. You have some sort of proof for me to look at.
Yes,
Do you
I have.
understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Mr. Figglewitz for $5,000.
Yes.
Okay, how much was your deposit?
$733.
All right, so that you're going to get back from him because he had a good reason to move out because Mr. Figglewitz and his friends, including this young lady, were idiots. Okay?
The check was never made to me.
I don't care. It's your fault that he finally left. Then he's going to pay you $1,000 for the fall and the scraped arm because even though you didn't have glass in your arm, it's something that you don't have to tolerate. And I absolutely believe, Miss Asia over here, that your friends were in between the two of you. You were both hot, and that while the two of you kicked him and caused him to fall. And you cannot, sir, do that. The mattress. Did you buy a new mattress?
Yes.
How much did you spend on it?
$500.
You have a bill?
No, I don't. I have different like prices in mattresses, and I didn't buy a new one. I
flipped it over.
Well, no, I averaged all the prices out of new mattresses that I needed. I threw the old one away.
Listen to me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to me very carefully. Don't fall over your tongue. You look stupid. You don't want to look stupid, do you?
No.
You see, because I made him look stupid. Her a little bit. The only one who's coming out of this thing whole is Asia. I'd hold on to her if I were you. But don't lie to me. I don't like it.
Okay.
You threw away the mattress, and first you say you bought a new one, then you say you didn't buy one, but you averaged out the costs. Who are you living with now?
Asia.
Asia, do you have an apartment?
Yes, I do.
Have a one-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom.
2 bedrooms. Who else lives there?
My girlfriend.
So you split the rent?
Yes, we do.
How many ways?
3.
1, 2, 3. And he shares your room?
Yes.
And you sleep on the floor?
No.
You sleep on a?
Bed.
Which has a?
Mattress.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,733. You have a mattress, Mr. Boyer. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Beth Garcia claims her boyfriend's ex, Jamie Petola, vandalized her car by keying it.
Miss Garcia, the defendant is your current boyfriend's ex-girlfriend.
And also the mother of his child.
Where is your boyfriend today?
He couldn't make it because he's had too many issues with her and pending court problems with her that he has to take care of, so that's why he couldn't make it.
He didn't have any pending court matters today, did he?
None
at all. None at all. He never
None at all.
has.
But he decided to take the high road and just be absent, even though he probably created all of these problems to begin with. Now, when did you last live with, what's his first name?
E. Lincoln.
E. Lincoln?
E. Lincoln.
E. Period Lincoln?
Yes.
Well, what's his first name?
E. Lincoln.
There's no period between the E and the Lincoln. It's just E. Lincoln.
E. Lincoln. When did you first live with E. Lincoln?
When was the first I lived with him?
Yeah. First, give me the year.
Probably it was 2001.
And when did you last live with him?
2005.
When in 2005?
Around February, March.
And when did you start to be involved with Mr. Lincoln?
We officially were involved in October.
Of 2006?
2005.
Before a friend.
So there was a little overlapping?
No.
Yes. I was living with them and she knew.
Okay, so there was a little overlap.
Yeah.
They weren't together.
Yeah.
Hey. There was some overlapping. Now, it is your claim, Ms. Garcia, that the defendant vandalized your car, not on one occasion, but on multiple occasions.
Yes.
And despite the fact that you never saw her vandalize your cars, you have proof by way of admissions that she did, in fact, vandalize your cars. The car was vandalized.
On the morning of October 23rd, 2005 was when I noticed it, so it was that night.
Okay. And what was the nature of the vandalism?
She had keyed...
Don't tell me what she did.
She keyed
someone.
profane
No,
words.
listen to me.
Someone.
Shh.
Someone keyed profane words on my hood, my driver's door, and the back driver's door, because it's a four-door, and put key marks on the rest of it, and knocked off the driver's side mirror.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the car?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them. Wow. Now, with regard to this incident in October, what proof do you have that the defendant was responsible?
Well, before my involvement with E. Lincoln, I believe he said it was like in 2002.
Don't tell me what he said to you. That's hearsay.
In 2002, his vehicle was vandalized the same exact way.
You cannot tell me anything that he said to you, because that is hearsay. Do you have any proof that the defendant committed that vandalism on your car?
I have a police recording because on the night of January 3rd, 2006, she was calling my phone saying, "I'm going to vandalize your vehicle again." My roommate...
Okay, so you have a recording.
Yes, and the police report that stating that the police...
Let me see it, please.
That he heard the recording.
Where is the recording now?
They couldn't get it through, but we do have it, but it's real fuzzy. But the
She
police
probably messes with the cop. She probably messes with the cop.
No.
She probably talks to the cop.
I'm not speaking to you.
Sorry.
Car was damaged again when?
The next damage was on March 6, 2006.
Okay. With regard to the March incident, you told the police that it could have been any one of three people.
Right. Sorry.
I'm already convinced, madam, that you damaged her car in October. Already convinced based upon the police report. You want to be responsible for March too?
No.
Then keep your mouth shut. You told the police with regard to the March incident that it could have been any of three people. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Those three people are her friends.
I don't care, but you're not responsible for your friends, Ms. Garcia. So you have no proof with regard to March 6th. Is that correct?
That's correct, but then there was another one.
When?
April 10th. And that one, both the taillights were broken off and both the side mirrors were broken off.
Did you have any conversation with the defendant about what happened to your car?
After the January 3rd conversation was the only conversation.
Okay. You want to explain yourself, madam, with regard to the October 23rd, 2005? You want to explain yourself to me?
I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Then why, madam, when the police got you on the phone, which they did?
Why isn't that? She probably talks to
Just
the
a
cop.
second. Would you get her out of here? Thank you. Get her out of here. Why did you hang up the phone when a policeman identified himself on the phone?
Because when a person says the police are on the phone, you don't know if you could go to jail for something stupid or not. She played on my phone up until she called the cops on purpose, and then that's when I called back and was arguing with her because she told my son when he stayed at his house with my ex-boyfriend that she don't like me and all this other type of stuff. So I called her and was, arguing with her, whatever. And then she was like, "You did this to my car," whatever. She had the police right there. So he probably was hanging out at her house because she talks to a lot of people and she goes downtown and she talks to cops and stuff. So he probably was sitting right there, maybe. Maybe that's the case. I'm serious.
Let me see the estimate for the damage to your car on October 23rd,
This is the one from
2005.
the October
Police
23rd.
officers indicated that they heard the recording. Your recording.
I didn't get no police report.
But I got it.
They didn't say nothing to me.
Listen to me. I got it.
That.
I'm speaking. You don't have to help me.
She don't really know who did it, nothing to her car. It's so many people. She sleeps around with people she don't know.
Listen, Miss Attitude, you were annoyed with her because she was bad-mouthing you to your... I'm speaking. This is what you just told me. You're shaking your head no.
No.
You're shaking your head no. You just told me you were angry with her because she had bad-mouthed you to your son. That's why you were yelling at her on the phone.
Right.
Because she had bad-mouthed you to your son. That was the conversation that you said was overheard by the police officer.
Right, then
that was... Listen to me. That was after her car was vandalized in October.
Why didn't I call her before and argue with her if I messed up her car or somebody else was messing up her car? Just because I called and argued with her, that don't got nothing to do with me.
Garcia played officers a message on her cell phone left today by Jamie stating, amongst other things, that she was going to damage her vehicle once again. According to the officer now implicating herself in the previous incident. Ryder was present when Jamie then called back Garcia and heard her repeatedly use profanity when she was addressing Garcia. Ryder attempted to speak with Jamie, however, she hung up on the phone when the Ryder identified himself as a police officer.
Right, I hung up.
She or her friends probably did the damage to your car. Unfortunately, you can't prove it, but you can certainly, you've established to my satisfaction, based on the fact that she was angry with you, based upon the fact that she knows that E. Lincoln was two-timing her. You may or may not have known it, but she knew it.
Yes.
October 23rd, 2005. Was that on or about the same time that you had this discussion with your son?
No, it just was recently when the first time I called her, the time that she taped me.
That was not the first conversation was. I had to have my phone cut off.
No, that wasn't just recently, madam. It wasn't just recently. That was 4 months ago.
I know. That was the last time I talked to her.
How did you get her phone number?
She called my phone playing on it with her phone number. That's how I got it.
So what did you call her back for?
Because she was arguing and playing on my phone, so I cussed her out for playing on my phone.
You also said to her that you were going to damage her car again.
I did not say that.
So the police are lying?
Yeah.
The police are lying?
No, I don't think the police are lying. I think maybe it's one of her friends or something.
No. Police were lying?
No, I'm not going to say the police were lying, but...
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,619. That's all. Stay away from her car.
Kate Vermeulen is suing her ex-husband, James Vermeulen, for the unpaid balance on a Saturn he totaled.
Mrs. Vermeulen, this is your former husband, and according to your complaint, you swapped cars with each other because your mother was coming to visit. You needed a larger car. That was last summer. So it's nice to hear that there was at least a reasonable relationship that you had so that you accommodated your former wife, because you have children together, so that she would use a larger car that was yours. And in any event, you wrecked her car. And there was an outstanding loan on the car. The car was, in fact, totaled. And your former wife feels as if you should be responsible for the difference between what the insurance company paid on the car and the amount of the loan that she's still responsible for. And that amount is $3,634. Is that correct?
Yes.
You have a counterclaim because you say at the time she borrowed your car, she had a minor fender bender, but damaged the bumper of the car.
Correct.
To the tune of about $800, and she should pay that.
Yes.
That's your counterclaim. But let's get to the big-ticket item here, Mr. Vermeulen. When did you total her car?
I believe it was August 10th. I was on my way to work.
8/10. And when did you damage the bumper to his car?
Actually, it was so minor that I don't have the exact date.
Okay, but you called and told him about it?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a picture of it, I'm sure.
Yes, I do. I have a picture of the damages that were done to the bumper and actually an imprint.
Okay.
Your Honor, it was September 5th, I do believe, when he ruined my car, when he totaled my vehicle.
Why do you think that it was August 10th, sir?
I thought that was the day.
Well, it wasn't. It was September.
In September?
Yeah, because she would have a police report with regard to it.
Okay, I didn't know that there was any police report. I wasn't charged in the accident.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? So it wasn't in August, it was September. That's a big difference.
Sorry.
How do you account for that difference?
I don't know, Your Honor. I was working at that time there. I wasn't really paying attention to the date.
When did you swap cars?
Probably a couple days before her mother arrived. She was
Which was
coming
when?
in for England. Near the end of the summer, which was
in August.
In August.
Now, it's clear that, according to your answer, sir, that the accident was your fault. that your foot got stuck, according to you, on the gas pedal.
Between the gas pedal and the brake, Your Honor.
So it was your fault, right?
I guess if that's the way that you see it, yes, Your Honor.
Well, sir, unless you were driving a very unique car. The gas pedal was put in by the factory. It remained in the same spot. The brake was put in by the factory. It remained in the same spot. You were familiar with the car. You had had it for some time. According to your answer, my foot got stuck between the gas and the brake. You want me to read you what you signed?
No, Your Honor.
So if the foot got stuck between the gas and the brake, it's your fault.
Okay.
Those two things didn't move together.
I was wearing my work boots at the time, which are larger than my way to work. And it is a sports car. The gas pedals are closer together. I drive a truck, Your Honor.
Well, whose fault is that, sir? The car's fault or your fault?
It was an accident.
No, sir. If you're wearing big boots and it's a small car, you take your boots, you put it in the back of the car, and you wear shoes that don't get stuck between the gas pedal and the brake. The car can't accommodate your work boots, right?
Right, Your Honor.
You have to accommodate the car, right?
Correct.
So it's your fault. Now tell me why you believe that you're not responsible for the difference between what the insurance company paid and what your former wife has to pay on the loan.
I believe it's not my fault due to the fact that I wasn't charged with the accident, reckless driving, careless driving. I had a medical report that says that there was no drugs or alcohol involved. I also had her insurance company clear me of all liabilities in relations to her car.
You made babies with him. Just because, sir, you weren't found guilty of a crime, that there was no drugs, alcohol, you weren't speeding, doesn't mean that the accident wasn't your fault. It was your fault. You just said to me I was wearing big work boots. This was a sports car. It doesn't accommodate those kind of shoes. My foot got stuck between the two pedals, and I lost control of the car. And I just tried to explain to you what a normal person of reasonable intelligence would understand, that the car can't accommodate your shoes. Your shoes have to accommodate the car. Now, do you have a picture of the damage you did to the bumper of your car?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it. And an estimate on having it fixed.
I have an estimate right here.
Sir, you brought me an estimate from this place for $1,154?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, would you explain to me why?
I'm only asking to cover the parts, the actual bumper itself, and have it painted there. I'm not asking for taxes, labor, insurance there. Originally, I asked her to pay for half because she is still entitled on her vehicle. She's entitled on the insurance, and she's still
Did you have
liable.
Insurance on the car?
Yes, I did.
And what was the deductible?
$500, Your Honor.
So that all you're going to pay for is $500.
And then you're going to have a claim with your insurance company, and your insurance will go up. I decided to pay for the claim out of pocket rather than going through my insurance company and having my deductibles raised.
Well, what do you think's going to happen to her insurance, sir? Because you totaled her car. What do you think is going to happen to her insurance company that had to pay out a totaled car?
I'm quite aware that she's going to have a claim with her insurance company, and her deductible will probably go up as well as her insurance payments.
So you mean you want me to give you a benefit and not her?
I'm not asking for special treatment.
Yes, you are, sir. What you're saying is I decided that I didn't want to go through my insurance. So I decided to pay for it myself. And therefore, instead of just paying for the deductible, which I believe should be responsible for paying, if you in fact fix the car, then what you're saying is I want her to pay the additional amount, which is $822, which is the cost of the bumper, which is what you're suing for. Because if I went through the insurance, my insurance premiums would go up. That's
Correct.
what you're saying to me.
Yes.
But her insurance premiums are going to go up substantially more than yours, sir, because they had to pay out on a new car, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Say nothing. You had a $500 deductible. You had to pay out $3,634. From that, I'm deducting $500. I'm awarding you on your claim $3,100. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now I want to see where you fixed the car. You have a bill for fixing the car?
That was a quote there. I've had the work done since
Where?
I paid for the parts.
Show me.
I don't have that with me, Your Honor.
Well, why did you bring me this, sir?
That is a quote of what it would cost at a body shop to get it done. What I paid for out of pocket was the parts and the paint.
Why, sir, wouldn't you bring me the actual cost of what it cost to fix the car?
I didn't have the bills at the time. It was short notice. I didn't care at the time, Your Honor. I didn't really save the bills there. I didn't plan on coming to court. I didn't think I was going to be in court today.
When did you get this?
When did I got that?
Yes.
3 days before I knew I was going to be in court.
Well, instead of put your hand down. Instead of getting this estimate for work that was never going to be done because according to you already did the work, right?
Correct.
So this is bogus.
It's not bogus.
This is bogus.
Quote.
So instead of wasting the time to take the car in to see what it would be to fix the car, which according to you already fixed, so it would be difficult for them to give you an estimate on fixing a car that was already fixed because you said you fixed it. Why didn't you, instead of getting this estimate, go back to the place where you bought the parts and say, I lost a copy of the bill. Can I please have a copy of the bill for the parts?
I could ask for the original copy. I could send them to you.
Why did you waste time getting this instead of getting the receipts for the actual work?
I have no answer for that, Your Honor.
Well, then you're not getting a thing. Strike it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,634. Your counterclaim is dismissed. You did a lot of fast talking, sir. Did not impress me. That's all. Step out.
Danielle Hines says her former live-in boyfriend, Devin Kilpatrick, owes for rent and the return of property. Devin says he moved out after Danielle filed for a restraining order.
Matt, Ms. Hines, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You lived together. He's also the father of your child.
Yes.
You had a lease together. He moved out 4 months prior to the lease terminating.
Yes.
You took him to court for 2 months of the 4 months.
Yes.
Because the other 2 months hadn't passed yet. And you got a judgment against him for those 2 months.
Yes.
Now you want the last 2 months of the rent that he owes you. And you also claim that you had a lot of pain and suffering because he wasn't a nice guy.
Yes.
Well, forget pain and suffering. You don't get paid for pain and suffering. You terminate a relationship for pain and suffering. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you want your rent.
Yes.
Mr. Kilpatrick has a very good excuse for not paying the rent for the last 2 months.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
He says that the reason he didn't pay rent for the last 2 months is because you filed a restraining order against him and his mother, and so he couldn't live in the apartment, and if he couldn't live in the apartment, then he wasn't going to pay rent.
Not
That's
true.
his defense.
Yes.
So, when did you move into the apartment?
We moved in March 14, 2006.
And you were both on the lease?
Yes, we were.
And when did you leave, sir?
I'm not exactly sure.
When did he
I
leave?
am November 9th, and they filed for the restraining order. He was
November 9th,
Yes.
2006.
Yes.
And when did you file a restraining order
I
against him?
filed November 2nd, but he was served November 14th at 5:55 a.m.
But you had filed it on November 2nd.
Yes.
I want to see the allegations that you put in the restraining order application. Thank you. You filed this on November the 2nd, and according to this, it says the most recent date of abuse was September 10th, 2006. And you say he strangled me to the point that I could not scream anymore. He also stated that he would only get a slap on the wrists.
If he did it again.
It would be something he would hit me because it was his first offense. And you filed this 2 months later. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Between September 10th and November the 2nd, when you went to the police to file for this restraining order, where were you living?
I was staying there, but he wasn't.
You were in the apartment.
Yes.
And he was not living there.
He was still living there, but he never came home. He was in and out. He would go to his mom's house. We were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I was sleeping in my daughter's room, and he was sleeping in our bedroom.
Fine. So then my question, 2 months later, what prompted you to go to the police?
I don't have transportation. Not only was I trying to get to the courthouse to file a restraining order on him, everything in between then, I was going to the police station. I was always talking to the police about what I can do about our child and him getting out of the apartment, but not necessarily him moving out because I still needed him to pay his half of the rent.
Just a second. You asked for, in your restraining order, a stay-away order asking that he may not be within 15 feet from you. How was he supposed to be within 15 feet from you if he was still living in the apartment?
Because at the time, whenever he would come home, he would go in his room, and I'll either be sleeping in the living room on the floor or in our bedroom.
Listen, did you want him out of the apartment or in the apartment?
I wanted him to stay because he was still on
Then
the
there was
lease.
no reason for you to file for a protective order.
I just
It's
didn't want him to
nonsense.
hit me again.
You said that the last time he put his hands on you was when he choked you 2 months before. That's what you swore to in here.
Yes.
So that there had to be a reason, 2 months later, that you went to the police. You managed to find your way to the police.
Yes.
And file this protective order.
I went to the courthouse to file that.
Listen, you're not being honest with me. He moved out. He had a right to move out. He would have been crazy to stay there. Absolutely insane to stay there with a protective order. When all you have to do is pick up the phone, call the police, they come, they arrest him. And all you have to do is say, he threatened me, and he finds himself in jail. So he would be insane to stay in the apartment.
May I please say something?
Sure.
It says right here that he was not even served. He didn't even know I had a restraining order on him until after. I'm telling you.
It doesn't make any difference whether he knew or not, madam. You knew.
Yes.
So how dare you come here knowing that you had the restraining order, that you didn't serve on him for another couple of days, but you knew you had it,
Yes.
and still want him to pay rent?
Because his name was still on the lease. I did not ask Devin to leave. They said 15 feet because his name was still on the lease. They could not kick him out. I had no choice. I didn't want him to put his hands on me again, Judge.
Good.
I was afraid. I didn't know what else to do.
I understand. You should have left. Should have left. But you can't go get a restraining order on him and say you have to stay in the house, despite the fact that I have a restraining order on you.
Okay.
So now you are like my prisoner. You look at me cross-eyed, I'm going to call the police. Whether he did anything bad to you in September or not, I don't know. Certainly you didn't go to the police in September. So he would be nuts to stay with you. And now you come to court
Yes.
and you say, I want him to pay the rent.
Yes, because...
When he did nothing to you in November, nothing to you in October, nothing to you 3 weeks in September. If I believe that you got into a fight and he put his hands on you in September, I'm not condoning that.
Okay.
And if you put him out right away, I would have said, okay.
Okay.
And if I believed that he choked you in September, I would have said, you're bad. You have to pay the rent.
Okay.
But when you wait 2 months, there's something else going on.
I tried.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
trying
everything-
to. Believe
No,
me, I'm
Judge,
trying.
I did everything I could to get to the police department. I went throughout the month of October to get information on what I could do because he's the father of my child. I was trying to ask for information about child custody and what I could do about everything.
I'm not talking about child custody.
I know
I'm
it's
talking
domestic
I'm
violence.
talking about a restraining order.
Okay.
Not child custody, not support,
Okay.
not anything else. Just about the fact that you were in abject fear of him and in need of a protective order that excluded him from the house. Because not to be within 15 feet of you is a ridiculous order against somebody that you expect to live in the apartment with you. Ridiculous. I'm telling you, you cannot live with somebody
Okay.
with a restraining order and expect them to stay in the apartment. Because of the way the laws are recognized now, all you have to do is call the police and say, he looked at me cross-eyed, I want him arrested.
Those weren't
And
my
then he's
intentions.
there on a violation of a protective order, which allows them to incarcerate him for up to 6 months by just looking at you cross-eyed.
But those were not my intentions.
Oh,
That
listen,
didn't
I don't
even
care what
cross
your
my
intentions
mind.
were or not. The fact is you did have a restraining order against him, and he was perfectly right to leave because you didn't go and file that restraining order at the time you allege he hurt you.
Okay.
You waited 2 months. So there was some other agenda that you had, and I don't know what that was because you look at me, like you don't understand what I'm talking about. But then you were served with the restraining order and you came back into the apartment with your mother.
No, not my mother.
When?
Around, I guess, a week later.
After you were served.
Yeah, I came, I got all my stuff, and then that was it.
Not true.
You came and you got some of your stuff, included the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what she's
Well,
annoyed at because
I
the
had-
refrigerator, she said, was given to both of you as a couple by your mother.
She didn't give it to us both as a couple. She
I
gave
don't
it to
care.
me.
Yeah, she did at the time because you were both eating out of the refrigerator, I
Judge.
assume. But he's allowed to keep the refrigerator.
It was not a week later. It was the same day because I had to purchase a refrigerator the very same day. I have the receipt with the date.
But I
and
don't
time
understand
on it.
what you want, and I don't understand what your pain and suffering is.
Because I almost had a miscarriage. I had to be taken out of school literally on November 29th. My doctor had to write me an excuse because I had to keep on being rushed to the hospital. And I have all the hospital papers stating that I had
You have
to-
a hospital paper that says it's his fault that you almost had a miscarriage?
Well, it was stress.
Of course it's stressful. Life is stressful, madam. Life is stressful.
Yes, it is.
Life is stressful. You don't want to be stressed? Until you're sure about somebody, you shouldn't get pregnant by them.
Actually, those were my intentions either.
Well, if not your intentions, then what you do is you take care.
But I was on birth control. I have the papers proving that I was on birth control. You would like to see it?
Well, I suggest you sue the birth control company because it failed. Listen to me, Miss Hines. Are you living in the apartment now by yourself?
Yes. No.
Well, how are you supporting yourself?
I had money that was saved up, and I spent all that money on the rent.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and a half.
So why don't you go to your father or your mother's house? You're 20 years old and you have a baby. He should pay child support, but he's not going to support you. You're not his wife.
No,
He said he'll contribute to the support of his child. He absolutely should do that.
But he's
Are you
not.
paying child support?
No, not yet.
Why not?
She just, I don't know, she just filed it, I guess.
She doesn't have to file it. Did you see your baby?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
You have to take care of your baby.
I see him when I can. I work about 6 days a week, so I can't be there all the time.
Well, if you work 6 days a week, then what you should do is you should have enough money to help support him.
But he
And you don't
doesn't.
need a court order to tell you that, sir. Do you understand? I should see the money coming out of your wallet right now.
Please, for some diapers. I would like some diapers.
Listen
for
to
our
me. Don't
son.
talk to him.
Okay, I won't.
I should see money coming out of your wallet now. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
Get it out.
Don't have none in my wallet.
How could a man who works 6 days a week not have any money in their wallet?
I don't keep money in my wallet.
Where do you keep it?
In the bank.
Good. How much money do you have in the bank?
Don't know.
Well, I've got news for you, sir. When ultimately you're going to want to see this child, and the tape of this is going to be available for her, for whatever, you get no sympathy from me if a father needs a court order to tell him that he's supposed to pay child support. Court's not supposed to tell you that. And here is supposed to tell you that. Do you understand? So the support should be forthcoming. You don't have to pay anything for rent. Because she wanted to live alone, she filed for a protective order against you. And if that's the case, then she pays the rent. Got it?
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay the rent, go home to your mother. Or get a job and start supporting yourself.
I will.
Good. Perfect. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated with a broken window on her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Miss McLeod, you and the defendant were friends. It's my understanding that you wanted to take a little day road trip together. You needed a car, so you rented a car on your credit card.
Yes.
And you were going from someplace to San Diego?
Actually, we were going from Austin, Texas to South Padre Island. And Justin had told me that he had to be on the rental car agreement because I couldn't rent the car by myself because I was under 21.
Okay, but the car was leased with your credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was driving?
Yes.
What time did you rent the car?
We had gone that Friday. It was sometime in the afternoon to rent the car. And then we were going to leave for South Padre shortly after we had rented the car.
And you did?
Yep.
Was he drinking?
When the incident occurred, he had been to a few bars. He'd had a few drinks.
Well, that would be a yes.
Yes.
To make a long story short, what happened was he took the car to go from one place to another. I don't know where you were going. But according to you, you pulled the car over and fell asleep, but fell into a dead sleep coma because the police came up to the car and they tried to wake you.
It was actually parked in a parking spot.
They tried to wake you, and they couldn't wake you from this deep coma sleep. They banged on the door, they rapped with their baton, and then they feared for your safety. Since the car was locked, they busted out the window of the car in order to ensure that you were safe.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated in her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Now, the car had to be taken in to be fixed. You paid for the window, but it took time, and she was charged $500 extra on her credit card that she feels as if you're responsible for, because but for the fact that you fell asleep in the car, it wouldn't have happened. That's your case.
Yes.
Mr. Lawler has an interesting defense that we are all breathlessly waiting to hear.
When we first rented the car, I actually told her to get the rental car insurance because that way if anything did happen, we would not be liable for the damages done. And at that time, she said that she had insurance. It would be $100 cheaper. The guy rang it up with the insurance on it for the rental car. And then she said, well, no, it'd be cheaper if we do it the other way. I didn't want to because I had rented a car before and know that if you get rental car insurance, it covers everything. So she insisted on putting her current insurance on there. And once we got down there, her mom, she talked to her, told her the insurance was on there. And then her mom said if anything happened to that car, that their insurance would get dropped. So the insurance didn't cover the actual damages done at all.
Can I say something? What?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not finished with him yet.
Sorry.
So let me understand his defense. His defense is she should have taken out the insurance.
Right.
That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds right to you?
Well, that sounds like what he said.
That sounds right. Yeah. Why did you fall asleep in the car, Mr. Lawler?
Why did I fall asleep in the car?
Just a second. Is there an echo in here? I know that you think that it's going to give you an opportunity to think of a reason.
He wasn't sleeping. Sorry.
I'll get back to you. Why did you fall asleep in the car?
I had a couple drinks and I passed out in the car, and it was parked in a parking spot.
There you go.
I was not driving the car though that night.
All right, Mr. Lawler, let's dissect what you just said to me.
Okay.
You think that because you talk fast, that I'm not going to be able to dissect what you said to me? Okay. So you had had a few drinks and you passed out in the car.
I pulled the car over. I didn't
Yes,
drink. Yes,
that's
ma'am.
what you just said. Had a few drinks. Now, where did you do this drinking?
In a couple hotel rooms.
Not in bars. You were in hotel
No,
rooms.
I was actually. Sorry.
Who were you in hotel rooms with?
Just different kids we were selling tickets for our Akon party that next day.
How many different hotel rooms had you been in drinking that night?
Just a couple, actually.
Same hotel?
Just different ones.
Different hotels?
Yes.
How did you get there from one to the other?
I drove the first.
I drove.
The first one, yes.
Just a minute. I drove. And how'd you get to the second one?
The second one?
Yes, the
My
second
friend took
one.
me to the second one in his
The
car.
second one. Your friend took you in his car, and you left your car where?
There's a condo that was parked at.
You didn't tell me you were in a condo, sir. You said you were in a hotel
Well,
room.
that's what South Potter has, condos and hotels. We just go to different ones.
You told me you were in a hotel room. Do you see where we're going, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Cameras pick up everything. So do my eyes. I have very, very bad vision when I have to read something without my glasses. Far away, I can tell a smirk and an I gotcha from a mile away. What do you do for a living?
I'm a promoter for a production company.
They're usually pretty glib and pretty light on their feet. Promoters. I've been promoting myself for 3 times as long as you're alive. You owe her for the car. And you're going to pay her for the car because it was your fault.
Even though the insurance.
Your fault! Nobody laid you down, pried open your mouth, and poured alcohol down your throat. Nobody told you to fall asleep in the car. Nobody told you not to tell your friend, would you please take me back to one of these condos where I'm supposed to be staying tonight? Nobody told you any of that. You were drunk. You drove a car drunk. You passed out in the car. Your fault. You pay for it.
The remaining charges that he owes me for is $541.63.
Did you pay for your half of the rental?
Yes.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $541.63. Thank you very much. That's all.
25-year-old Katrina Purdy is suing her former employers, taxi company owners Jack and Mike Pulowski, for taxi cab rent and lost wages.
Yeah, it's case number 299 on the calendar in the matter of Purdy versus Pulowski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
You own a cab company?
Yes.
For how long?
For 3 years.
How many cabs do you have?
About 8.
You own them?
Yes.
And I gather what you do is you lease those cabs out on a weekly basis to people who want to drive them. They give you part of the money, and that's how you make your living, and that's how the drivers make their living.
Yes.
Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. How much do you charge per week to lease one of your cabs?
It's $400.
And how much of what the cab driver earns do you keep? What percentage?
I don't keep any percent, just $400 a week and
Flat. And
flat,
they can
exactly.
drive the cab as much as they want.
Correct.
They can go 24/7 if they want to, as long as they can keep awake.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
And they pay for and you pay for the maintenance, etc., on the cab.
Yes.
Do you get the same cab each time?
Yes, they keep the car, the same car
keep
all
it?
the time.
Okay. When did Miss Purdy begin to lease her cab from you?
That was in July.
Give me the exact date, sir.
I can't remember exact day. That was
Well, you should have records, don't you? You have a business. You have records. You have a business. So when, for the first time, did Miss Purdy lease a cab from you?
it was about July 15th.
Is that the same kind of about 8 cabs? Or was it July 15th?
July 15th.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I have July 22nd, Your Honor.
You have July 22nd was the first time that you rented a cab?
Yes.
Let me see your records to show me July 15th.
I didn't bring any records about that.
Well, where'd you think you were coming today? To a tea dance?
No.
July 22nd was the first time you leased the cab?
Yes.
You gave him $400.
Yes, I did.
For how many weeks did you lease the cab?
I leased it for 3 weeks.
Okay. And was July 22nd a Monday?
That was a Friday, Your Honor.
When did you pay him the $400? Each Friday?
Every Friday, yes.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that's correct.
And the Friday was for the following week, is that right?
Yes.
So you were paid $400 on a Friday, and she was supposed to keep it the following week. However, Miss Purdy says that when she paid you the last $400, which is on what date?
August 13th, Your Honor.
You told her that she couldn't keep the cab. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
So you let her keep the cab that week?
No, because I fired her that day.
Well, when you fired her, did you tell her she couldn't keep the cab?
Yes.
Well, that's what I just said. What are you
But
saying
that
no for?
$400 wasn't for the following week.
Well, that's what you just said. You said the Friday you got paid, and you allowed them to keep the cab for the following week.
That $400 was exchanged for her check, which she gave me for a security deposit.
Explain that to me, sir. She gave you a check for security
yes,
deposit.
first,
Hold
when
on
she
a second.
started working.
She gave you a check for security deposit. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you held on to the check?
First, I get the check. I tried to cash it and it was bad check. So I just gave her the check back and I took $400 instead. It was exactly the same amount of $400.
See, this is all a question of timing, Miss Purdy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What I gather happened is, now it's all coming together, Bird. Trust me, I'm going to explain this to you because I know if you understand that I've made myself clear, and I like to make myself clear. Miss Purdy gave him a total of $1,200. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
She only had the cab for 2 weeks. Is that right?
It was 3 weeks.
You used the cab for 3 weeks?
Yes.
Well, if you used the cab for 3 weeks and you gave him $1,200, what are you complaining about?
The $400 was for deposit for a hold on the check.
No. What I'm asking you, Miss Purdy, is as follows. You say you gave him $1,200.
I gave him $400 every week.
You say you gave him a total of $1,200. All the money that you gave him, for whatever reason, was $1,200.
Well, then that doesn't include the $400. You're right.
Okay, so you gave him $1,600.
Yes, Your Honor.
You gave him $1,600, but you only used the cab for 3 weeks.
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it?
I got it.
The last Friday that she leased the cab, she hands him cash, $400. You take the $400, correct?
Yes, correct.
And then you say to her, you're fired.
No, but
Shh, just a second.
Okay.
You're fired, and I'm keeping this $400 for the security deposit check because you scratched the car. You damaged the car, which is what the security deposit was for. Is that right, sir?
That's right.
Right. That's simple. Don't shake your head no. That's what happened. Because if he had said to her, you were doing the talking, or was he doing the talking?
But I gave her
Who
the
was
check
doing the
back.
talking?
We were together.
Who was talking to her?
I was talking, he was talking.
All I want to know is, before she handed you the $400, did you say to her, we're firing you today?
No,
Of course not. So you got the cash first.
because I didn't trust her with the check.
Are you following me, sir? You took her $400 because you were afraid that if you told her she was fired, she wouldn't give you the $400.
No, that's not the reason. I was afraid that the check is bad, like the first one.
Just a second. She didn't give you a check. She was giving you cash.
Yes, but she gave me check first.
I
Because she didn't
understand.
have any money,
Listen.
so she gave me a check.
Listen to me, sir. If you would have said to her, I'm firing you today, you owe me money for scratching the car. I don't know how much that's going to be yet, but you owe me money. We'll have to straighten that out. Do you think she would have given you the $400?
Probably not.
Right. And she was not giving you the $400 for the security deposit. She wasn't. Her intention was giving you the $400 to use the cab for the next week, correct?
Yes.
Of course. Your intention was to take the $400 to hold it so that in case you had damage to the car, which you claim you had, you would have money to fix it. Correct?
But remember about the check. I gave her back $400 in check.
Listen
That was
to me
just exchange.
carefully, sir. Don't play slick with me. I know that what you've got fixed in your own mind is you decided to take that moment, August 13th, that's the day you selected to take the money for the bad check. Not the week before, not in the middle of the following week. You said, this is the time I'm going to take the money for the bad check, right?
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you can't do that.
Just
Anything you want to say to me?
Me?
You.
No, I'm just a witness. I'm supposed
You're
to
a witness to what?
to her accident.
She had an accident with the car. This is not the issue. The issue is who's going to be a plaintiff and who's going to be a defendant. He has every right to fire her. What he did was play it slick. What he did was she said, I want to lease the cab for the next week. Here's my $400. He didn't say to her, no, I'm sorry, we're not leasing. Put your hand down. We're not leasing you this cab for another week because we don't like the way you drive. We don't like the way you take care of our property. We're firing you. But we have your bad check here. And you have to make good on the damage that you did to our car because that's our contract. And she says, sue me. That way, he would stand over here and she would stand over here. Instead, he resorted to self-help. He says, I'm going to be slick. I'm going to take her money. I'm going to be very quiet. I'm not telling her we're firing her today. I'm going to take her money, and then she's going to have to come after me for the money. Do we understand each other?
Well, she never said she had an accident, but I saw her have an accident.
I don't care whether she had an accident. I don't care if she ended up with a pole up the tailpipe of a car. Listen to me, sir. All I'm saying is they have a choice. Their choice is to pursue her for the money that they outlaid to fix the car, or they can play it slick by taking her $400 and saying, now you're fired, now I have the money. You follow me?
I hear everything.
You understand it?
I understand it.
Slick doesn't understand it either. They can either be a plaintiff.
I would have fired her. I would have fired her.
They had every right to fire her. You're not hearing it.
I'm hearing it.
No, you're not hearing it. They had every right to fire her as soon as she had an accident. Before I'm speaking, do you hear my mouth moving?
I see it.
Good. They had every right to fire her. They were derelict if they didn't fire her, if they have a cab company and she had an accident. What I'm saying is they had no right.
There was a lot more than an accident. There was a lot more.
Do you?
Excuse me.
Is there something wrong with you?
Is there something wrong with me?
Yes. Are you just try paying attention? They had every right and an obligation to fire her.
That's what I would have done.
They had no right to take her $400 on the day that they intended to fire her, because her intention in giving them the $400 was to allow her to use the cab for the following week. And they took that money under false pretenses. Do you understand? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That's all.
Mark Horner claims former tenant Jacob Scott damaged his truck tub cover. Jacob is countersuing for the return of his bed and mountain bike.
Mr. Horner, this sort of comes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
My daughter-in-law.
You and your wife befriended Mr. Scott. He had been a friend of your son's?
Correct.
And at some point, you allowed him to move into your home?
Yes.
Where's your family?
My parents live in Plainville, Massachusetts. I'm currently residing with them.
Was there any reason why you weren't residing with them when you moved in with the Horners?
When I graduated from high school, I kind of made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to be one of those kids that stays living with their parents, and I had moved out. And my roommate at the time decided he wanted to move back in with his parents, and I still, didn't want to move back in and be one of those kids. And they had offered for me to move in and pay rent, so I took them up on the offer, and I was paying $75 a week to live with them.
And you were also doing some work for them?
Yes, ma'am. I was working for Mark as a maintenance worker, and I had also worked during the Patriots games for Mark at one of his sausage stands.
That's your business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what the lawsuit is about. At some point, Mr. Scott was driving a truck of yours, and he rear-ended somebody and caused some damage to the front end of your truck.
Yes, ma'am.
You agreed with him that he would either pay the deductible, which was $1,000, or fix the truck.
Yes.
Did you do either of those two things?
No, ma'am. When this originally happened...
No, I'm just answering my question. So the answer is no.
No, ma'am.
And sometime later, you and your wife were going away for a holiday. Mr. Scott was remaining in the house, and according to your complaint, you said to him, no parties.
Correct.
You came back unexpectedly because there was a death in the family, and you found evidence of party.
Looked like he partied like a rock star.
And subsequently, you found the hot tub cover ripped.
Not only ripped, but there was food particles, cigarette butts, beer caps floating in the hot tub.
In the hot tub. Nasty.
Nasty.
And you and Mr. Scott then got into a heated discussion. He left.
Correct.
And when he left his bed and his bicycle, which he wants back, which is the subject of his counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
He says that you told him until you sign a promissory note to pay for the damage to the hot tub and the truck, you don't get your stuff back.
Correct.
Mr. Scott says that you told him to forget about the truck.
When the accident had originally occurred, the deductible, I was told the deductible was $500, and we had come to an agreement where I wouldn't have to pay it because the person he was supposedly selling the truck to hadn't paid anything for it, and the truck was 13 years old and had over 200,000 miles on it, and it was only about a softball-sized dent in the front bumper.
I have pictures of the truck.
Okay, so according to you, he said forget about it.
Yes.
And about the damage to the hot tub?
Actually, I have my witness here, Leanne. She's a friend of mine. She was at the house Sunday when they had come home, and she can testify that there was no rip in the hot tub cover Sunday when we were done, and we were not the last people in the hot tub cover. I had come home Tuesday night with a friend of mine, and Susan and Mark's daughter-in-law and her husband, Susan's son Peter, were in the hot tub, and we believe
You mean
that.
with the sausages and the cigarette butts?
No, that stuff had been taken out and cleaned.
Mr. Scott, the Horners allowed you to live with them, and Mr. Horner has no question asked you not to, no parties. You violated that trust by having a party.
We had actually, I had only had about 5 friends over.
Throughout the entire time that you were there, Mr. Scott?
No, but I never
Mr.
thrown a
Scott,
party
look,
there,
I
no.
want you to watch. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had 20-year-olds, a whole gaggle of them. When 20-year-olds know that there's a free house, it's never just 5 people. Mr. Scott, do you understand? So if you want me to believe other things that you're telling me, and I'm sure you do, I'm going to ask you again. How many people were at the house?
There was only 5 people there.
At one time?
Yes, because I had lived in 2 previous houses before I moved in with Mark and Susan, where I'd paid the mortgage myself, and I had pretty much gotten the partying out of my system. I quit drinking. I don't drink anymore, and it's just, we were hanging out, having a good time, trying to unwind on a weekend.
Well, who do you think it was that was a pig in the group of 5 that you had then, who put food in the hot tub and cigarette butts and cans? Which one of your 5 friends?
It was my buddy Greg. He had admitted to it.
He had admitted to it before they found it?
Well, I had told him that they had found parts of a sausage in the hot tub and there were beer caps and everything, and he said, oh, the sausage was probably from me because he was the only one eating in the hot tub.
So I assume that if you had seen him eating in the hot tub, Mr. Scott, we don't do that.
I should have.
Did you see him?
I did, and I didn't say anything to him.
Did you see him smoking in the hot tub?
I did. Everybody was smoking in the hot tub.
And throwing their cigarette butts in the hot tub?
I didn't see anybody throw a cigarette butt in the hot tub. And
Well,
I
did you
didn't...
take out ashtrays for everybody?
There were ashtrays out there.
Did anybody use them? You must have been aware of that unless you had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am, people did use them. The next day, when we were going through the hot tub, we had only found parts of sausages in the filter. I didn't see any cigarette butts in the hot tub at all. And
Well,
I didn't
Mr.
see any
Scott,
beer
let me
caps.
tell you this. When you abuse a privilege, I have to assume that the people who disrespected the Horners' property also ripped their cover.
Okay.
Because otherwise, why would Mr. Horner claim, after being so nice to you, they were nice to you, weren't they?
Well, the whole relationship we had was there was a lot of verbal abuse there. Mark especially was constantly putting me down, calling me, and I'm quoting him here, he was always calling me a dump. Him and his wife were both always calling me a dump. He called me a pardon my French, on numerous occasions, and he used to go around bragging to everybody that I was his, because I was helping out around the house and still paying $75 a week. And at the time, I had just gone with all of this because I didn't want to cause any tension because I was living there under their roof.
Do you have children?
I do.
How many children?
I have 3 children.
How old are they?
My oldest is 23, and then I have
Where is the 23-year-old?
My 23-year-old is in the service. He's stationed at Fort Campbell in Kentucky.
And then you have I
have a 20-year-old.
Where is that child?
He lives with his girlfriend.
Well, that doesn't warm my heart. And what else?
And I have a 16-year-old at home.
And I have a 9-year-old.
Who lives with?
Her mother.
Who you visit?
Constantly.
And support?
Yes.
Mr. Scott says that you called him a lot of vile names. Is that true?
I definitely called him a dump.
When did you do that?
He got, I believe it was his 12th or 13th moving violation and lost his driver's license. So we particularly told him that he was a dump for that. He lost...
Just a second.
It was my 8th in 4 years.
Just a second. 8th in 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
He's right.
Ma'am, that wasn't the only occasion.
Just a second. Well, I'm going to get the rest of them. But right now, that would have been worth at least a couple. You know, I could tell that you are presenting yourself as a young man who is totally responsible and thoughtful, and you sound that way.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at these people and I'm saying to myself, this is not a couple that brought you into their home to use as a slave and berate you. So I want to find out if they did, in fact, call you a dumb, if they had good reason to do that. 8 moving violations in 4 years fits.
He also had 2 while he was waiting for his suspension to come over.
And so that was worth at least 2 more.
Yeah, so they took his license away.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's sort of cut to the chase here because I don't want to torture you any further.
Thank you.
You have to... You're welcome. Because I don't want to hear anything else about you because you wore a tie to court and speak well, and I'm sure you're going to try to put your life together. This is your...
This is my friend Leanne.
Not a girlfriend?
No.
You weren't eating sausages in the hot tub, Leanne. You have to give him back his bed and his bike. He's going to pick it up within 5 days.
Thank you.
I'd like to see the pictures of the truck.
Ma'am?
What?
The one thing I'm concerned about with the bed is there was an incident back when Mark's father died where he was having some trouble with his brother, and he had actually taken pictures of him urinating on his brother's bed, and I'm just worried that they had done something to my bed while it was in their possession.
I'm not going to dignify that question with an answer. Do you want your bed back or not?
Yes, ma'am.
I have pictures of the bed, Your Honor, if you want to see them.
No, I don't have to see pictures of the bed. I'm looking at the front end of this truck. It looks like a little dent, sir. Does it interfere with its driving?
It does not interfere with its driving. There's a tow hook that was smashed off the bottom of it. The grill is cracked. I have an estimate here from the body shop.
Let me see the estimate. Okay. How much is a new hot tub cover, or how do you fix that?
It wasn't, it had to be replaced. Here's the
Okay.
receipt. It was
How much was it?
It was $398 plus tax.
He's responsible for the tax. How much was the tax?
$420.
You living back with your folks, Mr. Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Actually, in October, I'm going to be moving down to St. Petersburg, Florida.
To do what?
For a change, I'm going to become a construction worker down there. That's what I do up here, but just to get away from New England and a new scenery.
Where it's
really.
warm.
Exactly.
Who do you know in St. Petersburg?
A friend of mine lives down there, so a close friend of mine. I grew up with her, so she's got an apartment down there. She's going to school down there, and
You might want to try that, Mr. Scott. School is not terrible.
I was thinking about it, but I work 7 days a week now. I love to work. Both my jobs, I landscape on the weekends, and I'm a construction worker on the weekdays.
You have your driver's license back?
No, ma'am, I do not. I actually get it back in 21 days.
Try to hold on to it this time, please.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Scott. Get your bed back and your bike in 5 days. Judgment for the plaintiff on your claim $1,420. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. 22-year-old daycare provider Melanie Bartlett is suing former client Thomas Jones for unpaid daycare fees and late charges. Thomas says Melanie left his son in the care of a certified schizophrenic.
Miss Bartlett, you run a daycare service, is that right?
Yes, I do.
And Mr. Jones had one child?
Yes.
A little boy.
Yes, ma'am.
Enrolled in your daycare. Is your claim that he took the child out of daycare without giving you notice, that he owes you for a certain period of time that the child was there when he didn't pay, and he also owes you for a whole bunch of late fees because he took the child out without notice? Mr. Jones says that he owes you some money for the daycare.
That's correct, Your Honor.
It is his claim that he had good cause to remove his son from your daycare because you were not properly caring for him.
That is not true, Your Honor.
So let's resolve what we can resolve, and then we'll get on to what's in dispute. How much money, Mr. Jones, do you owe her for the time your son, who was how old at the time?
14 and a half, 15 months, Your Honor.
How much do you owe Miss Bartlett for the time she did, in fact, care for him?
Approximately 2 weeks, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's
And
untrue. He paid me the first week, and then after that, I had no other payment from him.
Well, I'm trying to recall. First weeks were paid in full. The second week, I received partial payment. That's what you said.
$45.
Well,
Yes.
but you have to add that.
Yes.
So we paid you partially.
Yes.
For the second week. So each week was how much? Ms. Bartlett?
$160. And the late fees are $10.
Just a second. $435 is what you owe her for the time your son was there and you didn't pay.
That's correct, ma'am.
Now let's get to termination fee and all of that stuff. Miss Bartlett, how many children do you take care of?
I just started my daycare, so I was in the process of getting my license, and he was my first customer.
Were you licensed at the time?
No. I made him aware of that. I have the paperwork that I was in the process of getting the license, and
That's
I made him
untrue, Your
aware
Honor.
of that when he enrolled his son.
At the time you took care of him, you were not a licensed daycare provider. Is
No.
that what you're telling me?
I was in the process of getting the license. It was just paperwork.
At the time you
No.
took care of his son, you were not a licensed daycare provider.
No.
Did you know that?
No, ma'am.
How did you locate her?
Through the internet.
Do you have a copy of the ad?
Unfortunately, I do not, Your Honor.
I do.
Let me see it, please. Oh, well, this is deceptive, Miss Bartlett. Melanie Bartlett, that's you. License number upon request.
The only choice was to put in a license number or to say upon request. And I was
No,
in
the
process.
choice is I don't have one. That's your choice. When I say it's deceptive, it says upon request. Upon request means I have one and I'll give it to you if you ask me for it. So that's deceptive. Now let me see the contract that he signed. In the contract, do you say that you are not licensed?
I didn't mention anything about being licensed or not licensed in the contract, no.
Well, then that's deceptive, Miss Bartlett. That's one thing. Got to ask questions.
Yes.
Better questions when you're turning over the most precious commodity that you have to somebody that you don't know your license. Check to make sure it's a valid license with the state. You know how to do that now?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. The most egregious thing, if it's true, is he removed the child from your care during the second week in October. Is that right?
Approximately that, yes, ma'am.
And on October 7th, according to you, something happened. Want to tell me what happened?
I was informed by Melanie that she was going to a funeral. She asked if she could take my son to this funeral. She told me her mother would be going to watch my son.
That is untrue.
I don't want to hear.
I agreed to this, and I later found out that my son was left in the care of someone who was not qualified, alone in a car with him for, I don't know how long, maybe 20, 30 minutes. This individual happens to be a state-diagnosed schizophrenic, and,
That's what you wrote.
And I'm very fortunate that nothing happened to my son, that this wasn't a point where, something went wrong.
And after that, you took him out.
Yes, ma'am.
Go.
He knew the day before. My ex-boyfriend was doing work with him, and he informed him of the funeral that I would be attending. He brought it up as soon as he came to pick up his child that day, and I told him I had a friend who could watch his son, and I told him it was the friend he was referring to, who happens to be schizophrenic.
That's not true.
And he
Listen to
said
me.
that there was nothing wrong.
Listen to me. You have to skip a funeral. You have a job.
I know.
Listen to me. Did you leave this child in a car?
Yes.
Wrong. You don't do that.
I left him in there with my friend. The air conditioning was on, and it was
Listen
10
to
minutes.
me. That's not your job. You have one job when you take care of a 14-month-old baby.
He
and it's
didn't
not
say
to go.
anything that
I'm
he didn't want
speaking
him
to
to
you.
go.
And it's not to go to a funeral. And it's not to leave a baby in a car. And it's not to leave a baby in a car with someone who is on disability for a psychiatric illness. Because according to what you said in your statement, because you anticipated what he was going to say, I was attending a funeral for my ex-boyfriend's family member. I left Jacob asleep in the car for a total of 10 minutes with a good friend. He is a schizophrenic, but he's been on his medication. Did they give you a license?
Yes.
That's a big mistake.
I would trust him with my own 9-month-old daughter. and
That's
he's watched
your
her on several
prerogative.
occasions.
Listen to me. That is your prerogative. You can trust him with your 9-month-old if you wish. You cannot trust him with somebody else's 9-year-old. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
So you don't get termination fees or late fees or any other fees.
He knew the day before that...
Listen, I don't care what he knew. There is no way that you're going to tell me that you told him that you were going to leave his son in a car with a diagnosed schizophrenic but who's taking his medication. I don't believe that you told him all of that.
My mother was there when I told him that.
I wouldn't believe you if you told me or your mother told me that. What I am going to give you is the money that he owes you for the time that he used your services.
It's written in the contract about the late fees. He gave me no notice. I had no
I wouldn't
indication.
give you a second notice.
I had no idea he was not going to bring his son back to me.
Listen to me. I don't care whether you knew or not. You're not getting it. Maybe your mother can explain it to you. Maybe the state where you live will listen. Because after what I said to you, if you still think that it was appropriate to leave a child in the care of a diagnosed schizophrenic who receives disability, that speaks to your judgment in caring for infants ages 0 to 2, which is what you wouldn't let you take care of a guppy age 0 to 2. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $435, and you're lucky you're getting it. That's all.
Maria Becca Figo is suing her ex-fiancé, Robert Michael Strickland, for credit card bills and the return of a Dr. Seuss sculpture.
Mr. Strickland, I'm going to go directly to you, sir.
Okay.
I put together from both your complaint and your answer what seems to be a relatively easy story to tell, but then I have to come to you for the answers.
Okay.
You and the plaintiff were together for a very long time as a couple, even engaged at some point, according to both the complaint and the answer. You lived together. That ended about a year ago, but you remained friends. As a matter of fact, according to both of you, when you came into town on business, you would very often stay at the plaintiff's apartment, whether she was there or not there, because you saved some money and you were friends. You kept in touch. When you were together as a couple, you amassed a large credit card bill. And when you separated, you decided that you would arrange to split those expenses somehow. And you agreed to pay to the plaintiff $400 a month towards the credit cards for a period of 1 year, from August 2004 until August of 2005. And that's what you did, just shy of the year, 3 months shy of the year. Every month you sent her $400, she paid off the credit card bills. Then one day, probably in June, was it in June, you stayed over at her house? April. Stayed at her house, and according to the plaintiff, you found some evidence that she was involved with somebody on a serious basis.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
You didn't know about that,
that's correct.
and that was the last time that you paid the $400.
Yes.
In addition, when you left her apartment, you took a sculpture that had been in her apartment for the 8 months that you were separated, because now you say it was your sculpture.
Well, I believed it was my sculpture the entire time.
So is that the story? That's the case.
Exactly.
You want your $1,600 back, and you want your sculpture back.
Actually, I lowered that amount. I've realized that he did give me one last payment in April, so he actually only owes me for 3 months, so $1,200 instead of $1,600.
Great. And you want your sculpture
back. Yes.
Now I want you to tell me why she shouldn't get her $1,200 and the sculpture back.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I have the invoice from the gallery where I purchased the sculpture, and it has my name only. And in October of 2004, I made a lump sum payment of $6,200 towards her credit cards. I think this is more than fair. The reason I was paying her $400 a month is because I felt sorry for her. She told me she could not make her living expenses based on her salary and continue to make even the minimum payments on her credit card debt. And as in April, when I found the evidence, I realized that...
Well, she wasn't hiding anything from you, sir. You weren't a couple anymore.
Well, the fact is that I'm back together. There was never a clear breakup. In fact, after she had the sculpture, we went on a trip to Costa Rica together. We went on a trip to South America together.
How did she get the sculpture?
She took it and went to her apartment.
Explain how that happened. You had evidently acquired a lot of things while you were together as a couple.
Right.
You took some things.
Mm-hmm.
What did you take?
I kept some of the possessions in the house. She also took a dining table and some other pieces of art.
Is that by agreement?
Yes, but I never intended for her to have it permanently.
I don't think what was in your mind.
I don't think there was never a clear agreement.
When you said, well, you were living...
We wrote it down. We had a list of the major household items, and it had my name and his name, and we checked off which ones we wanted. And then when there were items, you know, like I took the kitchen items because I cook and he doesn't. So when we got to the items that we both wanted, such as the sculpture and the other pieces of artwork, we finally agreed...
What other pieces of artwork?
Well, we have 2 other Dr. Seuss pieces of artwork that
Do you have a picture of this piece of art?
The
I only have
one
a
in
piece.
question, yes.
Yes. Can I see it, please?
The one on the left.
Okay. How many pieces of this Dr. Seuss art do you have?
We had 3 total when we were together. And he ended up with 2 of them, and I ended up with 1 of them.
And this was on the list that you prepared?
Yes.
When you no longer were living together, was that at the end of a lease, or did you just separate?
No, we just separated.
Were you living in an apartment?
Yes.
Who stayed in the apartment?
I did.
For how long? After you
Until-
separated?
Well, see, there's never a clear separation.
Yes, there was a separation when when you turn over at night and you don't see somebody there, you know she's gone.
Well-
Mr. Strickland, you keep saying it, but you know,
Well,
if
Your
I woke
Honor,
up in the morning and
actually,
said,
before that-
we used to, we used to sit at the dining room table and have dinner together. She's not
Right.
here anymore. It would give me some clue that you were no longer together. So let's answer my question, not dance around, because believe me,
Can I give an explanation for that?
No.
Okay.
Because especially if there's a list, you take this, I'm taking this, you take this, I'm taking this, your name, his name. What's your first name?
Maria.
And yours?
Michael.
Maria, Michael, Michael, Maria, 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 Michael, Michael, Michael. And then she leaves. Now, when she left and she took the sculpture with her and the dining room table or the kitchen stuff or whatever she took with her, you didn't call the police and report it stolen, did you?
No, I did not.
Because you anticipated that you still might get together and be a couple.
Correct.
That didn't happen. That doesn't mean you can take back the sculpture, Michael. You have to get over it.
Okay.
Happens.
I don't even know
There's
how
shop-
he anticipated that.
You have to return it to her.
Okay.
You have 5 days to return it to her. And you agreed to give her, for whatever reason, because you were together, because there were tremendous credit card bills, because young people very often do that, which is very stupid, but you were together as a couple for how many years?
6 or 7.
Well, that's a long time. And how much in credit card bills did you have?
20,000, maybe more.
Well, that's what happens. And how much were the credit card bills that you personally were left with?
I would guess 15 or 20,000. I don't know exactly. I have not gone through and accumulated them.
You have not?
No.
Well, I suggest you get a financial planner and do that. In any event, you agreed to pay her $400 a month. You still owe her $1,200 on that debt. And within 5 days, Michael, you have to give her back her Dr. Seuss. She wants it.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I no longer have the sculpture.
You get one.
Okay.
Get one. 5 days. You get it back to her. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Wayne Otis claims website owner Jamila Donaldson posted his picture on her website.
Mr. Otis, it is your claim that the defendant who runs a website embarrassed you on her website, and you want to be compensated.
Yes.
Ms. Donaldson said that, well, she didn't really embarrass you on the website. She's going to explain to me what the website is all about, but she said whether or not you were embarrassed, she is protected by the Constitution of the United States. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about this website.
But you want to know what happened that day, or how did I get to the website?
Well, why don't, if you don't really understand it, I'll let Ms. Donaldson explain the website to me.
Okay. The website is called hotghettomess.com. hotghettomess.com.
And what is its function?
Well, I started about 1.5 years ago, and the function was I was sort of looking at the images that were coming out of largely the African-American community, and I felt like we were bombarded with these negative images, you know, this glamorization of thug life and thug living, the degradation of women, and just this obsession with all that is low and ghetto. So I thought that I would do the website as sort of a social commentary to say that this is not what we're supposed to be doing. We should not be promulgating these images.
Sounds like a laudable goal.
Yes, thank you. And so the website basically consists of people sending in pictures. And what I do is try to take a lot of images and put them in a context. I think we, in the media, and especially young people with the videos and the movies, we see these images all the time, but no one puts into context and says, this is not good. This is not
Give me an
positive."
example.
I don't have anyone. Oh, well, yes. Okay, here's one.
All right, let me see it.
But I'll also say that in addition to showing hot ghetto mess, I counter that with not ghetto and images that we should strive to be more like. And I'm sorry, Mr. Bird. here's some of the not ghetto. I sort of counter and try to give a balance. And I also have lyrics on there, lyrics that are being put out, and I contrast positive and negative lyrics. I do movies.
I got it. Just a second.
I'm sorry, I also have a mission statement.
Just a second.
Okay.
Just a second. I don't want to read your mission statement.
Okay, it's just posted on the website,
I
so
see.
people know what I'm doing.
Okay. It's really a positive message that you're trying to present by showing good examples of behavior, bad examples of behavior, good examples of images, bad examples of images. You don't select the pictures with the exception of the fact that people send in pictures to you and you put them on the website and say, you're free to comment.
Right.
And somebody sent you in his picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did they get the picture from?
It was this online site we have in school. I'm a college student, and it's called Facebook. What it is, it's like a directory of students that go to various colleges.
So you sat for a photograph or submitted a photograph to this book, and from that book, somebody took out the picture and sent it to the defendant.
Yes.
So let me see your page that you're complaining about.
This right here is the profile of myself, and these right here are like the categories, like the people that were centered around mine. So I don't see anything positive around
Well,
others.
let me just see what yours is.
Okay. And it's a little log up there where they get to comment about the pictures.
So she posted this photograph,
Yes.
right? Well, what are you complaining about?
Because she posted my photograph with her company logo on it as if it was her picture. I don't belong on that picture with those people. I mean, look at the category that I'm in.
What category are you in?
I'm in a category called Playboys.
Mr. Rodas,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it a bad picture? It's a very nice likeness, very sexy as a matter of fact.
Thank
Look like a playboy. What's wrong with that?
I don't like the fact that she also gives them comments. I mean, it's negative comments. No one said anything good.
Well, that's not her fault. Nobody said anything good. But I wouldn't have said anything bad about this picture. If I would have looked at it, I would have said, gee, the handsome guy. Got a sort of a come-hither look. Mr. Rodas, I want you to lighten up a little bit, Mr. Rodas. I don't think, by the way, Ms. Donaldson, that your First Amendment argument is 100% valid because Mr. Rodas is not a public figure. But you don't say anything derogatory about him. Now, let me say that if she posted this picture of you and wrote, bank robber, pedophile, something that wasn't true and just nasty, I would mop up the floor with her and give you whatever you wanted because you are not a public figure and she can't print anything that's not true about you. But once you allow your photograph to be out there as part of a student profile, the internet is something that sort of gobbles up all the information that it can get. It's a sponge. I don't know much about the internet because I don't use that machine myself, but I know that you can find out what kind of microbes live 20,000 leagues under the sea, if anybody wants that information. All you have to do is log in the right whatever. So if once you put your picture out there in public space, and it is in public space if you put it out in a book, it might end up here. So you have to be careful. If this isn't a picture that you particularly liked, you shouldn't have put it in your college profile. Who selected the picture?
I did. I
Right.
love that picture. I
Well,
love that
if you
picture.
didn't like the picture and if you thought it presented you in a bad light, then I wouldn't have selected this picture.
But I love that picture.
Good. I'm just saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with this picture. And all she's doing, Miss Donaldson is doing, is saying, what do you think of this picture? Is this the way African-American males want to present themselves? I don't see anything wrong with this picture. Now, somebody may say, I'd rather see him in a cap and gown, you know? I would rather see Colin Powell. I mean, he's got a picture of Colin. But that's somebody's opinion. That's not her opinion necessarily. That's somebody else's opinion. I happen to agree with you. It's a nice picture. A lot of people saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends, did they say to you, gee, that's a horrible picture that really depicts you in a terrible light?
No one said that.
No. I mean, you're not doing anything untoward in this picture. So my question is,
My basic thing was I sent her an email asking her to remove it. And I mean, when I found it, it was October 26th. And even as of this morning, when I was at the hotel, it's still there.
Now, she doesn't have to remove it. Would it be nice if she removed it if it bothers you?
Yes, it would.
Yeah. Now, we've gotten rid of the legal aspect of this case. Now we're getting to what I consider the moral aspect of the case, and since I have other things to do today, I'm going to address that relatively briefly. If Mr. Otis is troubled by this picture, and I guarantee you there are lots of other pictures that are just waiting to be published on your website, why don't you just take it off?
Because I felt like that would be a dangerous precedent. Then everyone would email me and just tell me to take their pictures down.
Well, they might.
Then hotghettomess.com wouldn't exist.
There are people out there who think that dressing inappropriately, calling attention to themselves, negative attention to themselves is the way to go. They're not going to be angry. I guarantee you, you will get all of the negative examples that you want on your website, because there is no want in this country for stupid people. They're all around us. Touch every third person, you're going to find an idiot. So you don't have to worry that you're not going to have plenty of product. Mr. Otis doesn't want to be used as an example. So when are you going to remove it?
I'll remove it as soon as I get back to my computer.
And I know that with you, that's going to be sometime today.
Yes.
Good. Satisfied?
Not really.
Well, that's too bad. You better get satisfied. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Steve Ramirez claims former live-in girlfriend Jennifer Flynn refuses to return his belongings. Jennifer is countersuing for money owed and for an assault.
Mr. Ramirez, you and the defendant dated and, I gather, lived together for a brief period of time. You had one child with you at the time?
Yes.
And it is your claim that she, after an argument, threw you out with your child and kept your property. The defendant says that when you left, you owed her some money, and instead of the money, you said to her, just keep my stuff. I don't want it. Sell it. She's also counterclaiming because she says you assaulted her. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. When did you move in with Miss Flynn, Mr. Ramirez?
She moved in with me about 4 months after we met to my home that I was renting.
Was that you moved in together?
This year.
2007.
2005.
When was it?
2005.
And when did you move into the apartment that you left?
We moved in at the end of July of 2006.
And you have one child. How old is that child?
She's 8.
And you have custody of her?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened when you left, sir.
Well, when she kicked me out, me and my daughter, she just kicked me and my daughter out.
Well, tell me about that day.
Well, we were talking, and I have an invention.
You have an invention?
Yes, ma'am, that me and my brother came up with. And Miss Flynn stated that she wanted 10% of something that doesn't exist. And I said, no, how am I going to give you 10% of something I don't even have? So that's where it started, and that upset her, just totally upset her. And she said, what? And I said, how am I going to give you 10% of something I don't even have? I can't.
What do you mean you don't even have? You had an invention you just told me.
Well, yes, ma'am, but it's just in the process now. I haven't...
Well, I assume that what she was saying is that in exchange for whatever financial contribution she was making, were you working at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
You were both working?
Yes.
Well, I assume she was saying that because you lived together as a couple, she wanted 10% if anything happens with this invention. And you said, no, I don't think you're entitled to that. So you're entitled to say that to her, Mr. Ramirez. If she wants 10% or 50%, then you got to get married. Then that's what the state does. The state says, well, then property becomes community property or joint property. But you're not married, she's not entitled to anything. So you're absolutely within your rights to say, I don't want to give you 10%. Is that when she threw you out?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
Get out of my house. You and your daughter can get out of my house.
And is that what you did? You left?
Yes, ma'am.
And you left your things?
Yes, ma'am.
What things did you leave there?
I have a list of things, numerous things.
They better be big items, sir, because I don't get involved with saucepans and dishes.
That's just some of the things. That's not the personal belongings, like pictures and...
I'm going to cross certain things out here, Mr. Ramirez, that I think are ridiculous. Charbroiled barbecue with 2 propane tanks. Prairie dining. Did you purchase all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you purchase them while you and the defendant were living together?
No, ma'am. Prior.
You had these things?
Everything on that list is prior to our relationship.
Let us take a look at this. Are any of those things that you purchased while you were living together?
Probably some DVDs and CDs.
Other than that, those are all his things, correct?
Yeah.
You have to return them to him, all of them. Do you understand?
Oh, there's no neon picture.
Okay, cross it off.
There is a neon picture, Your Honor.
Cross it off. Okay, good. Inconsequential, all of those things within 5 days, sir. You arranged to have the movers there to pick them up. Isn't that nice?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. You say he owes you money.
Yes.
And he assaulted you. Go.
Actually, the alleged invention that he has is something that my doctor asked him to make, and I actually have a picture of it.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's why I had asked him for 10% of his alleged
You're
invention.
entitled to ask.
So
he's entitled to say no.
my counterclaim is what he owes me when he was not working for October, November, and December.
You were not working October, November, December?
October and November, Your Honor.
And December. Well,
just a second. Were you working in December, sir?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't contribute to the household for those 3 months?
No.
So how much money do you owe her?
I don't feel I owe her anything.
Why not?
That's the way relationships work, Your Honor.
Why, did she work all the time?
No, she doesn't work.
She doesn't work at all?
No.
How do you support yourself?
I received disability and Social Security.
What's the nature of your disability?
I have a blood condition that affects my ankles to where I get a lot of blood clots, and I'm in the hospital a lot. I get a lot of infections.
So you were supporting the household and paying the mortgage on your Social Security? You have children?
I have one child.
How old?
9. Also,
Just a second. Was your arrangement when you moved in that you would pay half the mortgage, sir?
No, ma'am.
What was your arrangement?
Just that we're going to move in together and help each other out as a relationship does.
No. How did you handle the finances, Mr. Ramirez?
Well, I was working prior, and then I just...
When you were working prior, how did you handle the finances?
We just share them.
How did it work? You came home and you all both deposited checks into a joint account?
No, ma'am.
Well, how did it work? I want to know.
I would hand her cash and to pay the bills.
How much?
It just depended on how much the bills were at the time.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
How much would you hand her each month?
Maybe $1,200.
Each month?
No, not each month.
Well, that's
When
what
I
I'm
could.
asking you, sir. You don't play with me, Mr. Ramirez.
Yes.
You think you're smarter than I am?
No, ma'am.
What else?
He also owes me for his vehicle insurance from May to January, which I do have invoices for.
Just a second. Why did you pay in May? He was working in May.
Because I had added him to my insurance because he couldn't get it on his own. And with the money that he was giving
No, my
me-
darling. Listen to me. In May, he was working, so he was giving you money. In May, June, July, August, he was working. He was giving you money.
Not
you
enough.
Paid who cares? That's not something I'm getting involved with. So far, he owes you $1,800, period.
Okay.
What's next?
So he owes me then $120 for vehicle insurance for October, November, and December, ma'am, when he was not working.
October, November, and December. You had a car?
Yes, ma'am.
She was paying the insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And you weren't paying
Helping.
anything?
And
But-
January.
Yeah.
Just, you weren't paying anything?
Not a penny.
Okay. How much a month?
$40 a month.
Okay. So it was 3 months or 4 months?
4.
160. What's next?
The satellite dish was a household bill.
Forget it. You still have the satellite dish, no?
I still have it.
Keep going.
I'm also countersuing for the assault.
Well, let me hear about the assault.
Okay. One night I was just in my house, in my room with my friend.
When?
Approximately the 14th of January.
After he had left?
After he had left. He came back into my house. He still had a key because his stuff was there, so I didn't change the locks. I changed my alarm code. I thought that was good enough. He came in anyhow. I had my room closed. When I opened my bedroom door to see who had come in, he was already right there. And he asked me
What were you doing there?
I went to pack my daughter's things in her room so I can...
Did you call her first?
No.
Why not?
I have a key.
You have no right to do that. You're not a tenant there. You hadn't paid rent. You have no right to go
Yes.
in.
When I received my first check, after I got my job, I handed her my first check.
No.
What date?
You didn't.
What date?
Like January,
No.
first week of February.
You mean after you moved out, you handed her a
Oh,
check?
no, Your Honor.
Baloney, Mr. Ramirez. Baloney. You had no right being there. None. So what happened?
He said, "Who's in there?" And I told him, "None of your business." He pushed the door open like this, and the door hit me in my face because I was on the other side of the door. I proceeded to push the door and tell him that he wasn't going to come in, that it was none of his business. And with his strength, he pushed me into a dresser that I had by the door, which bruised my
Why
arm.
did you do that, sir?
I did
I
not, Your
have
Honor.
pictures of my lip where the door busted my
Can
lip.
I see it, please?
And my witness was in my room. When he saw that it was just my friend Diana, he left. I told him I was calling the police. I had the police on the phone, and
Temper, temper, Mr.
I also
Ramirez.
have a statement from
Temper,
my-
temper, Mr. Ramirez. Ever been arrested?
Yes.
Domestic violence?
Yes.
What do you have to say for yourself, sir? There's no question in my mind that you entered the house, that was a trespass, and if you assaulted her, that rises to the level of burglary. Do you understand? You should tell me, did you lose your temper?
No, Your Honor.
Well, tell me what you did. There's no question that you hurt her.
I entered the room, the house, in intent to gather my daughter's things from her room and some of my belongings. And then she came out. She said, "What are you doing here?" She said, "Get in my house." I handed her the key and I left.
No.
Didn't push the door open?
No, Your Honor.
Didn't push the door?
No.
Didn't cut her lip?
No.
You have a police report?
No, ma'am, I didn't let the police come. So, but he was not there to get his daughter things. He called me later after he left and said, "Why did you do that? I just wanted to sit down and hang out with you and talk. I thought we could talk." And I said, "Why would you think that?"
He doesn't think that you're allowed to say no.
Well, I am saying no.
Yes.
And,
I think maybe
yeah.
he gets that now. Want to step up? Tell me your last name.
Kalish?
Ms. Kalish, you were there on the evening that Mr. Ramirez came into the house?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
We were in her room just watching TV, and we heard the front door open. She got up to see who entered the house, and before she got to the door, he was already standing there. She opened the door, and he pushed the door open and pushed her.
Did you say anything about calling the police?
She did call the police. I was there. She
And what
called the
happened?
police, telling them that he had came in the house without permission, but the police didn't show up.
They never showed up?
Well, she didn't want them to come over.
Why?
The calls can take an hour to 2 or 3 hours, and I didn't want to waste their time. He was already gone. I felt safe in the house, and I knew that I could just call back if he came back.
Now, what was the date that this happened?
January 14th, around there.
Why is this picture dated February 9th?
Because that's when I printed the picture, and my digital camera, once I changed the batteries, the date doesn't set. So I have a digital camera. I have the camera with me. I didn't print
Did you
the
seek
photos.
any medical treatment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You owe her $1,960. Do you understand? And you can go pick up your stuff within 5 days, the stuff that's on this list. Don't go back and bother her anymore. She doesn't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Do you understand?
It's mutual.
It's finished. Over. Got it?
Mutual.
Thank you. That's all.
Rachel Maffitt is suing her ex-boyfriend, Brad Simmons, for unpaid rent and bills while they lived together. Brad claims he owes her nothing.
Ah, Bird, I really am so glad I don't use this internet thing. Miss Maffitt, you met the defendant on something called MySpace.
Yes.
Which is on the internet where people go to meet each other rather than, meeting each other for a cup of coffee or whatever. You exchange information. And you knew him for a brief period of time, and he moved in.
Yes, he asked to move in.
And it is your claim that while he was there, he paid no rent and bills. He owes you $2,000 for the time that he lived with you. Mr. Simmons says that there was never a financial agreement when he moved in. It was only when he left, unceremoniously, according to Miss Maffitt. You left her a note?
No, ma'am.
What did you do?
I packed up all my stuff while she was gone because of the fact that she was a little unstable. I didn't feel comfortable staying there. I packed all my stuff, so I headed out of there, and then I went back to the house and waited for her to come home. And then I told her face to face.
Oh, okay. Well, not as bad as I thought.
Your Honor, I do have a note.
You do have a note?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the note. When did you get the note?
When I came home and found all of his stuff gone from the house.
The note was only...
Okay. So you write this letter because you believed she was involved with a couple of other people at the same time she was involved with you. It's a very hurt letter, and you say, I can't talk to you right now. You want to communicate with me through MySpace because you're too hurt. You couldn't trust her. Okay, got it. When did you move in, Mr. Simmons?
It was sometime before Christmas. I don't know the exact date.
You remember the date?
I do not. It was probably after 3 or 4 dates, though.
Sometime in mid-December.
Yes, ma'am.
Of 06. And you moved in at her invitation?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you move out?
I moved out, it was the first week of February.
So let's say
It was before Valentine's Day.
Remember when he moved out?
It was before Valentine's Day, but he was over at my house probably 5 days a week after that. He promised that we would get back together, and
so he lived
still
with
loved
you
me.
maybe 6 weeks.
Right.
That is untrue. I did not go after.
Did anybody live with you before, Miss Maffitt?
Not in that apartment, no.
Has anybody lived with you since?
No.
So you weren't looking for somebody to share the bills with?
No, I was not.
So what money do you think he owes you? For the
He owes
6
me-
weeks that he was there?
He lived there for probably 8 weeks, and
6 weeks. Keep going.
And he did say that he would pay for half of the bills. He actually asked me if he could live with me. He says that he thinks it may be the L word, and so that he wanted to come live with me because his family was unstable, and he said that his father was beating him.
That is untrue, Your Honor.
Listen to me. He left. You have no downside.
Well, I paid for all of the food. He eats probably enough for 3 people a day.
Yeah.
And he did promise me to pay $2,000 from a bonus that he was going to be getting from his new job. And every time I would go to pay bills, he would say, oh, no, it's okay, you're going to get that other money, so we can do this instead and have fun and eat out and things like that. So I did spend money on things that I normally wouldn't have if I were living alone. I work 2 jobs and I am trying to finish school, so I'm just barely eking by.
Mr. Simmons says he was there.
He gave me $300 when he first moved in, which we promptly used on food and going out to eat.
Was it 3 or 5?
It was $500. I gave her $300 when I moved in, like she said, and then at another point, about 2 days before we broke up, we went out to eat with my uncle at Johnny's Pizza, and I gave her another $200.
Do you feel, Mr. Simmons, as if you owe her any money?
No, ma'am.
Was there ever an agreement for you to pay rent there?
No, ma'am. When I moved out, I figured the $500 I gave her, plus I maintained the upkeep of the house, and I cooked. So I feel that's...
You don't get credit for that.
I feel that the money that I gave her at the time that I was there was
You gave her $500?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your rent, by the way?
My rent is $580 a month.
He's paid you enough, Miss Moffitt.
Miss Judge Judy, I actually have an email here stating that he was going to give me the $2,000.
Oh, then I'll see it.
I never sent an email. She did have access to my email password.
No, I did not.
Just a
because it
second.
was saved on her computer.
Just a second.
Judge, I also have emails saying that he would lie in court, that he admitted to lying in court. He admitted to cheating on me with men.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Oh, listen, I'm not
that
interested
he
in
wasn't working
I'm
when
not
he was
interested in that.
working.
It has nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. The only thing that has to do with me is whether or not you just refuse to put a period and say, made a mistake, shouldn't have invited this guy in to live with me after knowing him for just 4 dates. You have no downside. He gave you $500. He was there for 6 weeks, and I'm not sure that you wrote this thing yourself. Case is dismissed, Miss Moffitt. Put a period. It's over. Goodbye.
Shannon Hayes is suing her ex-boyfriend, Michael Dorland, for breaking the door handle of her car, breaking her cell phone, and an assault.
Miss Hayes, according to the complaint that I've read, Mr. Dorland was your boyfriend for a period of time, and it is your claim that during the course of an argument, you were in your car, he damaged your car. Subsequently, I believe, he destroyed a cell phone that you had purchased, and he stepped on your hand, causing your hand to be injured. You want him to compensate you for those things. Mr. Dorland says none of that is true. You almost killed him in your car. He was trying to get out of your car. That you destroyed your own phone, and you also hurt your own hand. What happened first?
What happened first was my car.
Why don't you tell me about it?
On September 10th, Mr. Dorland and I were driving, and we were staying at a bed and breakfast. We had been in an argument. We got in my car. We're driving away.
Driving where?
Towards Manitou Springs. I stopped at a convenience store, and he was getting ready to get out, and he went to open the door, and he yanked the door open. But he yanked so hard that he broke the door handle.
Go ahead. What happened next?
And when he got upset because he broke it, he looked at me, he said, I'm sorry I did that. I did not mean to yank it that hard. I said, get out of my car. He started to roll down the window, and when he rolled down the window, he jumped out of the car and proceeded to break the rearview mirror on the right-hand side.
Okay, what happened next?
Then I was pretty upset, so I just looked at him, and I put it in reverse, and I went back into Manitou Springs.
Where was he when you put it in
Standing at
reverse?
7-Eleven.
How did he get out of the car?
He went out the window.
Okay, so you want him to pay for the broken handle and the broken mirror.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dorland, let's do one thing at a time so we can keep this organized.
Sure.
Let's go.
I was trying to get out of the car because she was going to take me down to her friend's house, and I didn't know if they were going to jump me, beat me, or whatever.
Why would they do that?
She hangs around with some pretty low people. At that time, she was still hanging around with drug dealers and people that were borrowing her car and doing more damage to her car than what anybody else was doing.
You mean anybody
she'd
else?
lose her car.
You mean anybody else? You mean you?
No.
All right, why don't you tell me your version of what happened on September 10th?
We went down, we got to bed and breakfast, and then we were going down to Manitou, like she said. She started a fight, so I started walking back. Then I got in the car. We went to 7-Eleven, and lo and behold, we get ready to pull out of 7-Eleven. She goes, well, we're not going back to the bed and breakfast. I'm going back to see my friends. You're going with me. No, I'm not. So I quickly grabbed the door and I pulled it open to get it up, to open it, and it snapped. It's just a little piece of plastic. So I crawled out the window. She was in reverse moving the car when I was trying to get out the window.
Miss Hayes, once he broke the door handle and he wanted out of the car, why didn't you get out of the car and go over and open the door from the outside?
Because I was scared. He scared me.
Well, instead of being inside the car with him, you get out of the car if he was scaring you, and you're at a 7-Eleven, so you go over to his door. Either you go over to his door and you open the door, or you go to somebody else and say, "Will you open the door, please, because I want him out of my car," instead of staying in the car with him.
I wasn't thinking that at the time. I was just
Well, I
thinking, get out of my
wasn't thinking
car.
either. I tend to believe, Mr. Dorland, that you started to move the car while he was trying to get out through the window.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
He wanted a cell phone, and he could not get one in his name.
You mean after this happened in September?
Yes.
After this happened in September, you made up at some point?
Yes.
How long did it take you to make up?
A couple of weeks.
Go ahead.
We had gotten back together. I took him to T-Mobile. The guy at the stand said, "Well, why don't you try it?" And I said, "No, my credit's terrible, can't do that." Turns out I could get him a phone in my name for $35. So we got it in my name, but he promised to pay me.
$35?
He paid $35. He paid the $35. He
So
promised
he
to pay
paid
the
the
monthly bill.
$35.
Yes, he promised to pay the monthly bill.
Yes?
Eventually, we got into another argument at his house. I was getting everything packed up outside, and he wouldn't let me in. So I asked him to open the door, and as he opened the door, I got it open enough to stick my foot in. I said, "I want my phone, please." He said, "No, I'm not giving you your phone." I said, "I need
Well,
my
he
phone."
had paid for the phone, so it's not your phone, it was his phone.
He hadn't paid the monthly bill. He paid $35.
But there wasn't a monthly bill yet.
I hadn't got the bill yet, no.
Go ahead.
He took the phone and he broke it in half. He threw one half at me and he took the other half. And I had my cell phone in my hand. My cell phone dropped between the door and my foot. I went to pick up my cell phone, he stepped on my foot, or my hand, excuse me. I got my cell phone, stepped into my car, and he told me he was sorry, and I said, "No, just leave me alone." And thereafter, I proceeded to call the police.
So $35 you don't get because that's part of your lawsuit for the cell phone, because he paid for the cell phone.
Okay.
Now, so let's talk about the hand, sir.
Your Honor, can I kind of tell you my version of that? Because
Yeah,
it's real quick.
I would love to hear it, and I would love to hear it quickly.
Okay, she drove up to my house, and when I open the door, I always put my foot right in front so that when she tries to kick her way in the house, she can't get in there. I was trying to keep her at bay. I shut the door and went out the back door and then went up to another store and was calling everybody I knew to come and witness this psychotic person throwing stuff at the windows. She was kicking on the door. There were footprints on the door. She kicked in the side of the doggy door. She broke into my house that evening. Here's a police report that specifies that.
Did you make up again?
No. I know I was pretty stupid to make up with her before.
Just a second. You made up with her more than once.
Yes, I did. I was trying to help her out. A mutual friend said that she was okay.
Get to the
but
hand, would you please?
last I talked to her, everything was done and she was going to leave me alone.
Hand. Get to the injured hand.
There was no injured hand.
She called the police. What happened when the police came?
By the time they had gotten there, it really wasn't that bad.
How bad was it?
Well, it was bad enough to hurt me. I couldn't
Did you go to
bend
the
it.
doctor?
No.
Did you go to a hospital? Yes. No. Where do you work?
I'm a housewife.
Whose housewife?
My own.
Well, where's your husband?
I'm divorced.
Then you're not a housewife.
I'm a homemaker.
That's different. A homemaker for whom?
My mom. I'm unemployed.
Here you go. You were arrested?
Yeah, on another.
Outstanding warrants?
Wasn't for any domestic violence.
For what?
Unpaid ticket.
What kind of ticket?
On a DUI I had back in, 2000.
That's not an antique, by the way, 2000.
No, but honestly, I should have had that paid, and I didn't, and I paid the price
What
for
do
it.
you do for a living, Mr. Dorland?
I'm a pipe fitter.
You work full-time?
Not anymore. I'm starting to. I was trying to start a business. Anytime I got anywhere close, she'd throw the kibosh in it. People didn't want me to work with them because she was calling them and going to the job sites.
Mr. Dorland, who picked her?
I did. I was trying to.
Not once, Mr. Dorland. Twice that I know of, and we only know each other about 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's not
How
so
long was this relationship that you had?
good. In all total, maybe about 3 months. I met her at a bar. A friend of mine said she was all right, and obviously I can't trust his word now.
Mr. Dorland, is not Prince Charming. He's not your Prince Charming. Why don't you work?
For 5 years, I haven't been able to work because I've taken care of my children.
How old are your children?
They are 10, 8, and 5.
But they don't live with you.
Not now, they don't. Now I am looking for work.
Who do your children live with?
Their fathers.
Miss Hayes, I wish you good luck looking for a job. You and Mr. Dorland are no longer an item. Good. That makes me feel terrific.
Me too, me too.
It's the best news I've heard all day. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye, good luck. Have a very, very happy life.
Tina Corville is suing her estranged daughter-in-law, Jennifer Corville, for an unpaid loan and car insurance payments. Jennifer says Tina's son is a deadbeat.
This is the son?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law. It is your claim that while she and your son were living in your home, you made a series of loans to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Corville says that you made gifts to her because she was the only one working in her family. Your son wasn't working, so she needed some car payments made in order to get her back and forth to work, and some insurance payments made on the car. I have a few questions.
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
25.
What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed at the moment.
How long have you been unemployed?
For not that long, because I had a job January 1st whenever I had put her out.
Listen to me. Listen to me. How long have you been unemployed?
Since January 1st.
Of 2007?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to January 1st, 2007, your mother says that you weren't working a good part of the time.
ma'am.
That's what your mother says.
Yes,
Is she
ma'am,
lying?
That's true. No, ma'am, that's true.
How long did you have the January job?
Not long, because I didn't even
Just
go
don't
off-
tell me because.
No, ma'am, I hadn't gone offshore. It was an offshore job, and I didn't have a ride to go offshore. That's why I didn't have that job. I hadn't
So
even
you
worked
didn't
one
have
day.
a job?
I had the job. I got hired.
When was the
took-
last time that you got a paycheck, Mr.
I
Corville?
didn't get a paycheck from them because I never worked one day
Mr.
because
Corville,
I
I
didn't have
want
a
you to
ride.
listen to, put on your listening ear, sir.
Okay.
When was the last time, month and year, that you had a paycheck? Think hard.
2006, and I can't give you the exact month.
Well, give me close to the
Okay.
exact month.
About the 10th month, or maybe even the 9th.
What would that be, the 9th month?
The 9th month
Yeah.
is September. Took me a while.
Good. September. Now, in August, who did you work for?
Pizza Hut,
Doing what?
delivery driver.
How long did that last?
Not long,
Why?
because I was told I couldn't use the car to do it no more. I was putting wear and tear on our car.
Your Honor, that was our car at the time. I was a manager at Pizza Hut.
Listen, you know what kind of sympathy I have for you? Zero. You picked him. And not only did you pick him, but you picked him, and you have a child.
Not with me.
I know that.
Okay. I was just clarifying it.
You know, put your hand down. Sometimes it's better to be alone. Sometimes the loneliest you can be is when you're with somebody.
Yep.
Your son, who is without a job, moves in with you with his wife and her child.
Yes, ma'am.
How old was he when he left home?
He's been in and out of home since he's 12 years old.
In and out of your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how did you feel about it when he told you he was getting married?
Didn't know the girl long enough.
But she has a job, right?
Yeah, at the time she did have a job, yes, ma'am.
Now, your son had no job at the time.
At the time?
At
Yeah.
the time?
At the time he did have a job.
Doing what?
He did sheet metal.
What happened to that job?
He had differences with the guy.
Yeah, the guy fired me because I asked for a raise.
And what did he say when you asked him for a raise?
He told me he didn't feel that I deserved it, and if I felt like I really needed it, I could go look for a job elsewhere because I no longer had one with him.
No, that's not what he said.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
said, I don't feel as if you deserve it. If you feel as if you deserve more, go elsewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, he didn't say that you can't have a job with him. He said, go elsewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you went, where'd you go?
To Pizza Hut.
Was that paying more than your sheet metal job?
Yes, ma'am.
Nah.
With the tips, yes,
No.
ma'am. Okay.
Now, tell me about this first loan. After they got married, they moved in with you because he's not working, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Were they paying rent in your house?
Not at the beginning, no.
Were they paying rent later?
When the second go around, they were going to pay rent. They moved in twice last year.
Fine. Well, the second time they moved in, did they pay rent?
1 month.
How much?
$150.
And who paid the rent?
My son.
What was he doing?
He was working for
Trim.
Newcom.
Yeah.
What happened to that job?
We had went and we had a court date for me and her both to attend to, and we asked the
What kind of court
instructor-
date?
I don't really remember, to be honest with you.
You had a court date and you don't remember?
Yes,
What kind of
ma'am.
court date did you have?
It was actually court for his paternity test.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing to do with me.
But
For
we
a
left.
quiet. For a paternity test for what?
His second child.
He has children?
Yes, ma'am.
Wunderbar.
He has two, one for two different women.
Now, how much money in total did you give Miss Corville?
$958.
Tell me what it was for.
In January.
January of what?
Of 2006. She bought a car with her income tax. Didn't have money for the insurance, so I loaned her $200.
Just a second. Tell me about what she didn't have money for the insurance, and she said to you
she would pay me back.
Did you have that discussion with her or with your son?
With her.
Tell me about the discussion.
She said that she would help us, give us the money because of the fact he was out of work, and she didn't want to see us without a car because if we didn't have a car, we were unable to work.
Was he working? Was he working at the time?
No, ma'am.
Did you subsequently get a job, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you did. Good. Where did you get a job?
That's whenever I went to the electrical company.
And how did you get to the electrical company?
She had brought me a few occasions.
Who did?
Miss Jennifer.
Your wife?
My wife, yes, ma'am.
What's next?
In May, she called me at work crying because she had a payday loan that she had taken before they were married, crying because she was going to get arrested. Could she please borrow some money?
Is that right?
It is.
Good. How much was that?
$305. 80.
That you owe her. Go ahead.
Then in September the 19th, their ABC insurance canceled. So they had to find new insurance.
They had to find new insurance?
She had to find new insurance.
Where were you working? You told me you were working in September, sir.
Yes, ma'am. That's whenever we were both working at Newcom.
Oh, okay, so you were both working?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were using her car to get there?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, good. Perfect.
So I paid her down payment for $155.
That's
for
fine.
the Geico.
That ensures that your son is working.
She was short $100 because they both lost their jobs. She was short $100, so to keep her car, I put the $100 difference in pay that she would pay me back when she'd find another job.
Why'd you get him to pay you some money?
It wasn't his car.
He was using it. They were a married couple.
No,
listen. Miss Corville.
I had lost
your son
3
put her
jobs.
out of the house when?
January 1st, 2007. Why? Because
What was my question?
I couldn't use the car to go find a job, nothing. She had stopped letting me use the car, everything. That was her
Really?
car.
And you had been using the car to go and look for a job?
No, ma'am.
Well, you said she stopped.
Yeah, like she hadn't let me. And within 3 months since we had been back over there, I had got a job and went to Houma. That was the only time.
So that's why you threw her out?
Yes, ma'am, because I was supposed to be leaving to go offshore and she wouldn't bring me.
Go ahead.
He didn't get a job in Houma. He actually went to Houma to get a job. He failed his drug test, and he was unable to work offshore. So he actually didn't
What
work.
kind of drugs were you taking that you failed the drug test?
None.
You mean the test was a mistake?
No, ma'am, I was going offshore.
So you didn't fail the drug test?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to take one today?
Doesn't matter.
She owes you for the payday loan. That she owes you for. For the car, consider it a contribution to your son. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Judge 30580. That's all. Thank you very much.
Housekeeper Nita Bayer is suing former employer Kendra Hall for damages resulting from an injury she sustained in Kendra's home. Kendra is countersuing for the return of Nita's unearned wages.
Miss Bayer, according to what I read in your complaint, you did some housework for Miss Hall. You fell in her house. You want her to be responsible for your medical bills and your lost wages. Ms. Hall says she's not certain that you fell in her house and injured yourself there. She's counterclaiming because she says that she paid you for an entire month and you only worked that one day. She wants you to refund to her the amount that she paid you for the remainder of the month when you didn't work. I have a few questions. Ms. Bayer, how long did you work for Ms. Hall?
7 months.
How often did you go to her home?
Every Friday starting of March 2006.
How many hours did you spend there?
Usually I spent somewhere between 7 and 8 hours a day.
What was the date of this accident in the house?
It was November 3rd, 2006.
And she had paid you for the month?
Yes, she did.
What was your monthly salary?
It was $360. I received $90 a week.
Now tell me about this fall that you took in the house. Miss Hall was not at home.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I arrived to work and I started working in the kitchen. Then I went upstairs, stripped the beds, made the beds, and then I took all the laundry down to the laundry room, and the light bulb was burned out in the laundry room. So I went into the garage to look for a ladder, and I found a 3-foot ladder. I took down the fixture, which was full of bugs and dirty. I washed it, cleaned it, went upstairs, got light bulbs that are kept upstairs in the linen closet. When I came down, I went up the 3-step ladder, went to put the bulb in and lost my balance and fell against the wash and dryer on my left side. When I got up, I felt nauseous and dizzy. So I went outside and sat in a little brick fence that's in the backyard, trying to gain my composure. And then I finally went into the house. I took some Aleve, some Excedrin.
Stop 1 second. So it would be clear and fair to say that you did not fall because the ladder broke?
No.
Because there was any imperfection in the floor? You fell because you lost your balance?
That's right.
Nobody else's fault but yours?
That's right.
Okay. Go ahead.
So since she pays me monthly, $360, she had just left that check that morning, and I never thought anything was really seriously wrong with me, and I tried to continue to work. In fact, I did continue. I finished cleaning the house, even did the laundry, very slow. Usually I leave about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. She arrived about 5 o'clock, and she asked me, "Are you still here?" And I said, "Yes, I did something foolish today. I fell and I hurt my arm. I don't know what's the matter. It really, really hurts." She quickly ran to the phone, called her sister-in-law, who I also work for, and she said, "Nita fell changing a light bulb. Do you think my home insurance will cover her if I take her to the doctor?" She said, "Okay, thank you," hung up, ran to her office, came back with some papers and said, "Yes, my home insurance does cover it, but I have to pay a $1,000 deductible, of which I will not pay." And suddenly she wasn't concerned about me anymore. And she says, "This is ridiculous." And I said, "Well, then you're not going to help me?" And she says...
So you had asked her?
Yes.
Just a second. You didn't make that clear, Miss Bayer.
I'm sorry.
So you said to her, "I finished working, but I hurt my shoulder. I want to go to the doctor. Will you pay for it?"
I didn't say, "Will you pay for it?" I asked her, "Can you help me?" That's what I said.
Well, what did you want her to do to help you?
To take to the doctor. I figured, well, since I fell in her home, that...
So you felt she was responsible?
That's right.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you, Miss Bayer, but you left that out of your story. What you made it sound like was you told her that your shoulder was hurting. Without saying another word, she went over to the phone and called her sister-in-law.
Yes.
But that's not what happened. You said, "I want to go to the doctor. Can you help me? Because you're responsible because I fell in your house." So she went to find out if that was true.
And she came back and found out that it was true.
What makes you think that if you have an accident in somebody else's home and it's your fault that they should be responsible?
Because I was under her employment at the time.
Well, that may be, but, you know, there is something that lacks common sense about that. I'm a common sense gal myself. What you told me was you fell and it was your fault.
Yes.
And you want somebody else to pay for it. That's what it comes down to. I mean, if you're taking it at face value, you may have fallen in her house. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that Miss Hall should not have assumed this responsibility. But what I'm saying to you is it doesn't flow naturally. If you fall in somebody's house and there's nothing wrong with their house, the railing isn't loose and the steps aren't uneven and there's not a slippery floor and there's no ice in the front walk, well, that shouldn't be their fault. It's your fault. You fell. That makes sense to me. The fact that most jurisdictions have superimposed some liability on the part of homeowners if they have people working in their home, that irrespective of whose fault it is, they have to take the responsibility, that's something else. But I'm just telling you, from a common sense perspective, it doesn't make sense. It makes no more sense than if you were walking down the street in front of somebody's house and there was no ice, no snow, there was nothing wrong, you were thinking about something, you fell in front of their house, and you say, "Well, I fell in front of their house, I'm going to sue them." You fell because you weren't being careful.
I was being very careful.
Well, if you
Your
were being
Honor.
very careful, the ladder didn't move by itself. And if you were being very careful, that maybe you had a pre-existing medical condition that caused you to become dizzy. Whatever it wasn't her fault. It was an accident.
Yes, it was.
It was an accident. An accident that was your fault. Not her ladder's fault, not her floor's fault, not her light bulb's fault, not her light fixture's fault. It was your fault. Now, I say this to you because what you want is more than just your medical bills paid. You want medical bills and lost earnings and lost wages. Why should you pay for that?
It is still an ongoing problem, Your Honor. I have proof here.
It's your ongoing problem.
That's true.
Not her ongoing problem. It's your ongoing problem. And if what you're saying is that she should have taken care of the medical bills because she didn't want to pay the deductible, listen, she fell in your house. You know what the parameters are, right?
Yes.
That's what the law superimposes on you. I happen to think it's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's what the law says.
I understand that. Can I please tell you
Sure.
the side of the story that I believe to be the truth? Very
but
similar.
But let me tell you something. Don't go to where you don't think that she was injured? Because
No.
she's got things that she's prepared to show me that she hurt her rotator cuff when she fell.
She was injured. Where? I'm not sure, because when I came home from work that day, I put my things down, got my kids in the house as I always do, and she continued to work. And I didn't run to the phone and run to anywhere. She insisted, I'm hurting. Do you have insurance? I'm like, what? I was in shock.
Well,
and
don't
I
be in
didn't.
shock. She fell off the ladder, changing a light bulb in your house.
This is what she's telling me, okay? I don't know this. I really don't. Because
Well, you weren't home.
she kept working.
She
and
told me
she's
that.
working, and she's a hard worker. She
told me that.
is. But what I don't like is that I did not say I would not pay. She told me later on the phone, you should have just paid the $1,000. I called my insurance company to see. I said, well, I don't know if there's a deductible. I'll find out. You know, we'll take care of this. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll go to county where my husband goes. Her husband's very ill. He goes to county hospital for treatment. This is what she told me. That's why I dropped it. Later, her daughter calls me. My mother, she's going to need surgery, possibly. I'm like, what has this got to do with me?
Okay, well, that's what it has to do with you. Where are the medical bills that you paid?
Okay.
Your total medical bills so far are $1,047. I don't know what this is.
I totaled everything up, lost wages, the doctor bill.
I'm not giving you any credit for lost wages, madam.
Okay.
I believe that you should pay your medical expenses. But you were paid already for the full month when you didn't work. Is that right?
On that paper in the blue I highlighted, I deducted the $270
well,
that
I know,
owed
but you
her.
deducted it from $3,000.
Right.
I'm deducting it from the $1,047. $777. Now, it's $777 that your insurance company's not going to pay because you have a $1,000 deductible. It's your option to have a $1,000 deductible, right? You could pay more insurance and have less deductible. You choose to be a self-insurer for the first $1,000. Are you following me? You look at me like I'm talking another language.
No.
Right, but you got it, right?
I got it.
You got it. You owe her $777. Sounds to me it's fair and reasonable. I don't think you're responsible for the fact that she's not working. And you haven't worked since November?
No, I haven't.
Well, who knows when you're going to be able to go back to work?
Well, that's why I was asking for the lost wages to cover the existing bills that
She's
it
not
had.
responsible for your negligence.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $777. That's all. Thank you.
Betty Shapiro is suing her son, 22-year-old Jason Hartwick, for a loan to buy an '88 Mustang and for a loan to pay restitution.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
This is your son.
Yes, it is.
Was he a cute baby?
Very cute.
Did you ever think when he was born, when you were taking care of his colds and when you were cleaning up after him, that you'd ever be suing him?
Never.
You must be pretty frustrated.
Very frustrated. He owes me money. I mean, it's not even the money. It's the issue of responsibility. He needs to pay his debts, and that's why we're here.
How many children do you have?
4.
Where does he fit in?
The second son. I have an older son, him, a younger son, and a daughter.
What about your other children? They okay?
They're fine.
So this is what the case is about. You loaned him money for a car.
Correct.
Tell me your first name.
Jason.
Jason, when did your mother loan you money for a car?
I'd say last year around
Mr.
February.
Shapiro, when did you loan him money for the car?
May 13th of 05.
What kind of a car did you buy, Jason?
I bought a 67 Mustang.
67 Mustang?
Or, no, it was an 88, sorry. I was thinking of a different car. 88
You're only
5.0. sorry.
century apart. What?
It's an 88 5.0 Mustang.
And according to your complaint, Mr. Shapiro, he paid on the car.
Yes, he made 4 payments.
And what was the total amount he borrowed?
$1,500.
How much did he pay you?
On 6/14 of 05, he paid $120. On 7/18, he paid $95. On 8/20, he paid $80. On 9/21, he paid $75.
And then he stopped paying. And Jason says he stopped paying because the car got towed.
Yep.
And he couldn't get the car out of impound because he didn't have any money.
Correct.
So he called you and he said, can you give me some money so I can get my car out of tow? You said, I don't have any money to give you to get your car out of tow. So the car didn't get out of tow. He lost the car, and he says it's your fault that he lost the car so he doesn't have to pay any more money.
Right.
Right? That's your defense.
Yep.
Do you want to say that to me? Because I've said it now, but I would like to hear it coming from your mouth, Jason.
Well, I borrowed the money, I got the car, then where I was staying, I was forced to move, and I couldn't move the car at the time because it was broken down at the time.
So where did you leave it?
In front of my friend's house.
How long did you leave it there?
Like maybe a week before it got towed. Because I had to get it fixed, and I was fixing it, and then I'm trying to
Well,
work.
you could have pushed it into somebody's driveway or something.
I didn't
right?
have no driveway to put it in.
Did you call your mom and say to her, listen, can I leave the car in your driveway?
Well, I didn't think to ask her that, and
You didn't
then I would have
think?
had to have it towed over there or something. I didn't have the money for that either.
So you think it's her fault that she didn't lend you more money?
Yeah, so I can get the car. If I don't have a car, why should I give her the money for it?
Let me ask you this question, Jason. How old are you?
22.
Did you go to high school?
Yeah.
Did you finish?
No.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, I know.
Now, you look like a pretty stout kind of guy. Do you ever eat at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Go in, you order dinner, finish the dinner, they bring you the bill.
Yeah.
You look at the bill and you say, why do I have to pay this? There's nothing on my plate anymore. It's all gone. What do you mean? I want you to make believe that your mother is a bank. And instead of borrowing this money from your mother, you borrowed it from a bank. Same scenario. You're doing road work on the car in the public street where you're not allowed to do it. You leave the car on the street. Somebody gives you a free pass for a while, but after a week, they tow your car. You don't have money to get out. You call the bank. Say, listen, I owe you money on a car loan, but unless you loan me more money so I can get my car out of tow, I'm not going to pay you any more money. Hello? Is this a crank call? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Does that sound foolish to you, Jason?
Yeah, it does.
So let's not sound foolish. I mean, the first foolish thing that you did was not graduate from high school, because then you would have had money, maybe, to fix your car. Now let's get to the other problem that you had. I'll hear you again, Mrs. Shapiro.
He was accused of stealing at work.
Stealing cash?
Stealing cash.
What kind of place were you working at the time, Jason?
It was like a diner, maybe.
It was a sandwich shop.
And what were you doing?
I was cooking.
And you were accused of stealing?
Yeah.
Out of the cash register?
I don't know. They never told me where it was from. They just told me money was missing, and they feel that I was doing it.
Okay. So he called you?
Correct.
What did he say when he called you?
That he was accused of stealing and that they were going to press charges and put him in jail unless he came up with the money.
And you said what?
I said, let's go meet with her.
With whom?
With his boss.
Fine. So you sat down with his boss?
With his boss in her office.
Go ahead.
And at that time, she basically told me exactly what had happened,
Well,
the
tell me-
amount of money that was taken.
When she sat at the meeting with you and your son and accused him of taking this money, what did he say?
He had admitted to doing it. And she was willing
How much
to
money are we
not-
talking about?
$2,715.
I didn't say nothing like that.
What did you say?
I told them that I wasn't admitting
No,
nothing.
look, don't look down. Look over here.
I wasn't going to pay them. I was going to go try and get an attorney, try and fight them and everything. I wasn't taking the rap. I didn't see no proof I did it. I didn't see nothing.
Now, just a second. We're not talking about proof. Listen to me very carefully, Jason. You got...
Yep.
Your mother says that at the meeting with your boss, you admitted taking the money. But if you say to me, I told them that I wasn't taking the rap for this because I didn't do it, then you're telling me, in effect, that your mother is a liar. Is that what you want to tell me?
That's what I said.
What did you say?
I said that...
No,
I didn't
don't
say
look
that.
down. Look over here.
I said I didn't say that.
You said you didn't say what?
I didn't say that I took the money.
What did you say?
I said that I was going to try and fight it.
With what?
However I could.
Is that what you told your mother?
Yeah.
Tell me exactly what you told your mother.
I didn't tell my mom really anything. I just said I wasn't going to... I didn't want to pay it. I didn't want to give them this money. I didn't want her to give them the money. I didn't want nothing. I just wanted to go try and get a lawyer or whatever and try and fight
So
this
then
out.
why in the world, Jason, did you call your mother and arrange to go to a meeting with her? And why did you go to the meeting with her? You had been told that you were accused of stealing. So there was no possible reason for you to call your mother or go to the meeting if what your intention was to say, fine, arrest me, I'm going to get a lawyer, and I'm going to fight these charges. You want to explain that to me?
Just figured she knew more than I did about the type of stuff, and she might be
What
able to
type
give me
of
some
stuff?
kind of advice. What they were
Well,
telling
no,
me.
just a second. I can understand, Jason, you calling your mother at home and saying, Mom, I want to come over and talk to you. This is what they're accusing me of, and I didn't do it. I want to get a lawyer, and I want to fight it. What I don't understand, Jason, is why you called your mother and then went to a meeting with your boss, with your mother.
I just had her come with me.
Why? Why would you go at all? You knew what you were being accused of.
I don't know. I just went.
3 out of 4 ain't bad. Did you say to your mother when she wrote out the check or paid them the money?
Nothing. I didn't actually see that happen.
Well, you knew she did it, right?
Yeah, I didn't say nothing to her, though.
You didn't say anything?
No, I was...
Like, thanks, Mom, for bailing me out, or I don't want you to pay this money because I didn't do this. I'd rather we spend the money on a lawyer so I can have a clear name. Didn't say that?
No.
Did you make an arrangement with your mother to pay her back out of your paychecks?
No, I never set that up.
Who did?
I guess the lady that I was working for did.
And how many days did you work after your mother gave them the money?
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4.
Why did you leave?
Because they were harassing me.
Who was
at the
harassing
job.
you?
The bosses. They were talking about me in front of me, and I wasn't feeling comfortable about that, so I quit.
And where did you go to work?
I went to another job. I got a job at Dairy Queen.
For how long?
About a month.
And where'd you go after that?
That was just a couple weeks ago. I haven't had a job yet since then.
The maximum limit in the small claims court in your jurisdiction is $3,000. Is that why you sued for $3,000? That's what you owe your mother. Who are you living with?
My friend.
What does your friend do for a living?
He works in, like, he makes the glass for the slot machines in the casinos.
Do you know that you sound to me like you're lost? Seriously. You sound to me as if you're lost, and unless you get control of your life, sir, it's going to be over before you know it. You can't be an irresponsible baby forever. Comes a time when you have to grow up and take responsibility for what you do and not make everybody else's life miserable. Your mother doesn't owe you anything anymore. Now you're on your own. Leave her alone. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Tyrone Smith claims ex-girlfriend Christy Bruffett lied to him about the paternity of her child. Christy is countersuing, claiming Tyrone has been harassing her.
Mr. Smith, it is your claim that the defendant defrauded you in leading you to believe that you were the father of her child. You want attorney's fees and all kinds of compensatory damages. Ms. Bruffett says that you knew all along that you were not the baby's biological father, and she is counterclaiming for harassment and other stuff. I assume that there was a time that 2 of you were in a relationship.
Yes.
And when was that?
2001.
Are you asking me? I wasn't there.
No, it was in 2001.
And when was your daughter born?
My daughter was born January 7, 2001.
Were you together at the time?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
I'm going to go to you. Your answer suggests that Mr. Smith was aware all along that he was not the child's biological father. I'm going to hear your explanation with regard to that.
Yes, he was, Your Honor. We had started dating briefly when we were working together in December.
December of 2000?
Of 99.
December of 99.
Yes. He had left Minneapolis and went to Chicago for what he said would be a brief period of time when we first started dating, in turn being quite a few months.
How many months?
He left towards the end of January of 2000. He did not return until close to the end of April of 2000.
Is that right?
No. Ain't no way Chrissy told me that that little girl was mine, and I signed.
Whether you went to Minneapolis.
No. I was working in Minnesota, so ain't no way I left.
Okay, keep going, Miss Bruffett.
My child was conceived at the very beginning of April by Matthew Moore. When he returned, it was the end of April. He had known of me and Matthew's relationship, but was
Don't
persistent.
tell me what he knew. Tell me what you said to him.
I had told him that I was in a relationship when he had came back from Chicago. Matthew, in turn, towards the end of May, had left and decided he was moving to Florida, and me and Tyrone had started dating again then. But he knew I told him that I was pregnant before he had came back from Chicago in a phone conversation.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
Doesn't sound right to me.
No, ma'am.
Keep going.
Okay. Up through the pregnancy, we were together, we were dating, all the way up and through my daughter was born. When my daughter was born, he had told me that throughout the whole time that he wanted to be a father to her. He would be that figure because Matthew was not going to return from Florida. Tyrone had told me that he wanted to be the one to step up to the plate. He would take care of her. We would be together. We had plans on being engaged or being married in the future. He had told me then that he didn't want his family to know he wasn't her father because they already did not approve of me and his relationship.
Yana, okay.
So at that point, we had decided that he was going to be her father figure. When she was born, I had told him that I wanted to leave the birth certificate blank in the case that Matthew were to ever return, and that was only fair. And he said that that wouldn't be viable to his family or mine. We argued back and forth about it.
How did this all play out then after 2001? That's what I want to know. Because right now, the child is 6 years old.
Exactly.
And so I want you to tell me, Mr. Smith, what happened 6 years later that brings you to court today?
Well, I was served papers for child support, and I hired myself a lawyer because I wanted to...
Who filed the petition for child support?
No,
He did, Your Honor.
she applied for welfare.
No, I didn't,
Child
Your Honor.
support.
I work full-time. I got papers in the mail being served that I was the defendant in a case regarding him taking me to court for visitation. I have to pay child support in our county in order to have visitation with my child. He brought the action, Your Honor. He is the plaintiff on both of these.
Well, there was a motion in Hennepin County for child support.
That was an action that he brought with
He brought
a
an
visitation.
action for what? For child support? To pay child support?
In our
You
county,
brought
you
an
have
action
to.
to pay child support, sir?
No.
I never heard of that. I've been a judge for a very long time. See, Miss Bruffett, my problem is he's fighting the child support in this action.
Exactly.
He's fighting it. He doesn't want to pay it. He's saying, listen, I have no money left. You know, I have a 5-month-old baby. I live. Here's my rent. Here's my lease on my apartment. Here's what I earn.
Yep.
I can't afford to pay any more child support, so I don't get the fact that he petitioned the court for child support. Now, why do you keep looking for her, sir?
Ain't nobody looking for Chrissy.
You weren't looking for her?
No.
I have
For what
police reports
reason?
to that effect, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the police report, please. The only indication here that's interesting is he said he wanted to come over to see the child they have in common. And victim, that would be you, advised that he couldn't come over and that he's not supposed to be calling. So he said, I want to come over to see my daughter. And you said he couldn't. You didn't say it's not your daughter.
Ain't no way I called.
Shut.
Okay.
I do also have that actually in a court finding paper that when we were in court in front of a judge for this order for protection 2004, that I was very adamant through all of that she was not his child, and I just wanted him to leave me alone.
That I want to see.
That's all I've ever asked, is that he just leave us alone.
Sir, what I want to know is why you're here now in 2007 when in 2004 she clearly told you that you were not the father of this child.
Right.
She told you that
Exactly.
3 years ago.
Yep.
What woke you up now?
What woke me up now was, I don't know, it took
Your
me,
Honor, he
you
has
know,
been harassing me for
I
6.5
don't-
years.
yeah, but-
This is just another form. I'm sorry.
What woke me up, I don't know.
Well, why don't you say something to try to wake me up, sir? She told you at least
Well,
3
the
years ago.
reason-
Listen to me. At least 3 years ago.
Right.
At least 3 years ago, she insisted before a judge that you are not the father of the child.
Why she didn't let that be known to the child support people then?
Listen, I don't see any of those papers. I mean, you don't have those papers. What you gave me were papers where, in the matter of the child, you are the plaintiff.
Exactly.
You're the plaintiff, not the county. You're the plaintiff.
Otherwise, Your Honor, he have papers to the effect of Hennepin County.
And
versus
that's
Tyrone.
July of 2006.
Exactly.
July 2006.
Listen, if you're going to agree with me once more, I'm going to throw you out and grant this petition. Do you understand? Good. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost too. You got me lost
Well,
too.
I'm kind of lost too. I mean, you
But-
were told by a judge 3 years ago that she says you're not the father of the child. And now you want attorney's fees
Exactly.
and court costs and everything else for
Yeah.
an attorney that you just hired 3 years later in order to get visitation and have a blood test done, and you want the blood test done. She told you weren't the father.
Yana, I had to hire that lawyer because I didn't have an address. I didn't know how to serve her
Your
her
Honor, my
papers.
address is private from him.
She put an order of protection on me, so ain't no way I can get her address.
What did you need her address for?
So she can get served her papers.
What
for my,
papers?
For
I don't want to hear
visitation
you.
see
Don't you
I
get
live.
it?
To see, visitation
You know,
to see
I don't
I
think
live.
that you're worried about him because you keep interrupting him. You know, if you were cowering and worried about him, as you indicate you are in your answer, then you wouldn't be freely contradicting him. Maybe that'll get you to be quiet. How much support did you pay over the last 6 years for your daughter?
6 years, I just.
Alleged daughter.
How much did I pay? About $1,000.
Show me.
That was my daughter. Ain't no way I'm gonna keep a receipt.
Show me.
you know. I did that from the kindness of my heart, you know. Ain't no way I'm going to buy that little girl
Well-
something and say, I want it back.
No, I didn't say buy her something. I said support. You weren't living together for 6 years. Support.
You got me on that one.
Now, when was the last time, Miss Bruffett, that you alleged that Mr. Smith bothered you?
The last incident was the last job that I had to leave because of him when I filed for that last order for protection
Would you give
in
me the
2004.
date, please?
It was February of 2004.
Well, that's a long time ago. It's over. Put a period. Finished.
Yes.
Not a good idea, if I believe you, which I'm sort of on the fence about. Not a good idea to insert somebody else's name on a birth certificate that is not biologically related to a child. It confuses the child. Put your hand down. Do you understand?
I do.
Unfair.
I do.
Unfair. Look what happens. She'll go try to get a kidney from him. What'll happen when she's 18? Ridiculous. Mr. Smith, you are finally free.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you.
I am. I dodged the aunt.
And Miss Bruffett would really like you to leave her alone.
Been there, done that. Long time
And
ago.
I think that you're going to leave her alone.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that. I got a wife and a son that needs me more than anybody, you know.
Your case is dismissed. It's over. Finished. Put a period. So is yours. Finished. Over. It's dismissed. Goodbye.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Darla Sailors is suing 25-year-old Sally Coffey and her father, Paul Wick, for a refund on a 1996 Saturn. Darla claims she was sold a lemon.
Miss Sailors, how old are you?
32 years old.
How many cars have you had?
3?
New or used?
Used.
When you bought a used car prior to this one, were they always running? Were you able to drive them from where you purchased them home?
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you buy a car, what you want is a car that takes you from one place to another. If you wanted a geranium potter, you would buy something that just sat in your backyard and where you could pot geraniums, right?
That's right.
So this is what your lawsuit is about. You purchased a used car from the defendants for $400.
Yes, ma'am.
And the car, at the time you purchased it, was not running. So you had to tow it to your house or tow it to someplace.
That's correct.
And then you found out that the car was a real piece of junk. So you had to tow it to their house and you want your money back. They say you bought that car as is. It was a piece of junk when they sold it to you. That's why they sold it for $400. That's not what they say, but that's what I figure. And when you towed it back to their house, you damaged their garage door. So they are counterclaiming for $500. Correct?
Correct.
Let me see the bill of sale. Thank you.
I also have a letter that she mailed me the day I dropped the car off at her house. There's no mention of any damage, as well as I have pictures of the drop-off of the vehicle, Your Honor.
Well, that's about the counterclaim. Let's see about this.
Okay.
All right, Miss Sailors, I'm going to read this to you because I have a lot of cases to do today. This is a bill of sale. It's a very clear bill of sale. It says the seller warrants, this is what they warrant to you, that they have good title to the property, to the car, and they have full authority to sell the car. Do you?
Yes.
And that the property is sold free and clear of all liens, right?
True. Correct.
Encumbrances, liabilities, and adverse claims of any nature. And then in big bold letters, bigger than anything else on this bill of sale, it says that said assets, which is the car, are otherwise sold in as-is condition and where presently located.
Yes, ma'am.
They signed it and swore to it. You signed it.
With this sign agreeing to what is on the sign as it was sold. This sign says the engine runs great, that there's only 2 minor repairs. I have pictures of it on the car. That is where my grief comes in. She told me that my car would be worth $3,000 had I put a serpentine belt on it, and that's it, and a cooling system. She guarantees the engine running great.
No, she doesn't.
It's in the sign she put on the car.
No, she doesn't. She guarantees, listen to me. That is what you call puffing. Engine runs great. A 32-year-old person who has owned 3 cars before knows that if you have to tow the car off their property, the engine doesn't run great. Because if the only thing that had to be fixed on this car was a belt, and then you could sell it for $3,000, these people don't look like idiots. Put on a belt on the car and sell it for $3,000. This is what you purchased, an as-is car for $400. Now, let me get to your counterclaim. It says, on August 3rd, you abandoned your vehicle on my property I attempted to contact you and request that you remove the vehicle. My telephone calls were not returned. Consequently, I had no choice but to have your vehicle towed. It is now located at Rancho del Rio Towing. Their telephone number is, the tow truck informed me you have 3 days to claim it. Subsequent to that, it will be sold at a lien sale. How come you don't talk about the garage door?
It wasn't something I intended on pursuing.
Good, perfect, so that you don't have to bother me with it now. The car was subsequently sold?
I have never inquired into
Did you ever go to the towing company to try to get your car back?
Well, I didn't have the money to go get the car out. She had it towed, and they wanted a tow bill, and that's all she sent. And she sent me the bill of sale the same day she sent me that. That bill of sale I got.
You shouldn't have.
I know.
You
I
shouldn't.
was stupid.
Listen, well, so what do you want from me?
I
I'm not
want-
here
I
to
want
make you
the-
smart, madam. When you purchase a used car that says purchased as is, and more importantly, if it doesn't run, and that's the purpose of buying a car, to take you from one place to another.
Well, my
And this
mechanic-
car, I'm speaking, and this car you had to have towed.
Right.
From one place to another. It would give you a clue.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. You could tell me from today till tomorrow. You had a contract of sale. Contract of sale is you do not go outside the four corners of this contract. This is the only contract that exists. Not what was in the window, not what was in the window, not what was in your mind, not what was in their mind. Only this contract of sale. It's a cheap lesson. I hope you learn, and I hope everybody else out there learns.
Well, it was kind of like, it was misleading because she says the engine runs great. She said-
Madam, the engine didn't run. You couldn't even tell.
He
Put
told
your
me
hand-
not to tow
Listen,
it.
Does it look like you're losing?
I mean,
Then say nothing. Your case is dismissed.
Party's not excused, and they step out.
Tricia Thomas and her fiancé Wesley McMillan are suing former friend Billy Chrisley for causing them to be ticketed for the possession of marijuana.
According to what I read, you were traveling in two cars, leaving Texas on your way to Arkansas because of Hurricane Rita.
Yes, ma'am.
You were traveling behind Miss Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
In the car that you were traveling in was Mr. McMillan, one of Miss Thomas's children.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Thomas was traveling in front of you, and in your car was another one of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chrisley, you were pulled over by the police
Yes, ma'am.
for tailgating.
Yes, ma'am.
What did the policeman say to you?
Well, he pulled me over for tailgating. That's what he told me he pulled me over for.
In what state were you when you
In
got
Oklahoma.
pulled? Oklahoma.
We were on our way back.
Go ahead.
So he pulled us over. He asked me for my license, registration, all that for the car. And I told him I didn't have my license, and I just got the car, so I didn't have no insurance, no registration, no nothing on it, because I just got it.
Well, what about your license?
It was expired, and I still had to leave to go to Arkansas, and I just drove back, you know.
Could we move on, please? What else did the police officer say to you?
So he ran my record and everything else. Then he asked me if I had anything, and I told him yes. And so he went back to my...
Well, you said yes, and he said, what?
No, we just went back to my car. I gave him what I had.
Well, what did you have?
I just had maybe a joint and a half.
Of marijuana?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you have it?
In my center console.
Where'd you get it from?
I brought it from home.
Had you used it while you were in Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am.
And you only had a little bit left?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, so now, against that backdrop, Officer Byrd, the police officer gave him a ticket and also gave Mr. McMillan a ticket because under the laws in the state of Oklahoma, if there's marijuana or drugs in the car, everybody's responsible. So everybody gets a ticket. So Mr. McMillan got a ticket, and Miss Thomas over here had to pay the ticket, or else she was leaving Mr. McMillan in Oklahoma. And she wanted him home because it looks to me as if you're expecting.
Yes, ma'am.
How wonderful.
Tricia Thomas and fiancé Wesley McMillan say former friend Billy Chrisley caused them to be cited for possession of marijuana.
So since you had to come up with this money because of his personal use marijuana, you really feel as if he should take care of the ticket.
Correct.
I don't think I should because I already admitted up to my own stuff.
Well, why is it his fault?
Well, I don't see why the cop gave him a ticket for my stuff. I already gave it to him.
Because that's the law. I haven't seen that law, but I must assume in Oklahoma, if you are an adult and you are apprehended or stopped in a car and there is contraband, you know what that is? You know, bad stuff, contraband?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody in the car is responsible.
Okay.
That's the law. So your suggestion that he sue the cop really doesn't make sense. Now, if you said to me, look, he shared the marijuana with me, he smoked the marijuana in Arkansas, he knew it was there because we both used it together.
Well, we did.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, where did you do that?
While we were up there.
In Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am.
Really? You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. McMillan.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I've been clean from every drug and alcohol for over 6 months and still going.
Well, sometimes there's a little bit of stress, Mr. McMillan, when you're escaping a hurricane.
Nope.
Because of the stress, he started smoking cigarettes again.
That was it.
Where were you in Arkansas, sir, when he was smoking this marijuana with you?
We were at the person's house that we were staying at. We just walked around the woods.
No, ma'am. The only time that me and Mr. Crisply ever took a walk, we went to the woods. There was nothing ever done. We ran down the side of a mountain and came back up, and that was it.
Now, when was your license suspended?
It was suspended in about, I think, 2002.
For what?
My dad gave me the keys to his truck so to give back to my mom. And when the cop pulled me over, they searched me. And all I had in there was, I had a 12-pack, but there was only 6 of them left. But when they searched the truck, they found a little baby roach that was in a film case that was in the truck, which I didn't know was there.
More drugs and alcohol.
Well, the alcohol was mine.
Was inside your belly, inside your little tummy? 6-pack?
Yes.
So you lost your license because of drugs and alcohol?
No, it was just the drugs. They didn't charge me with
Just
alcohol.
the drugs. How'd you come up with the $940 to pay your ticket?
My ticket was $1,261.
Well, how'd you come up with $1,261
I had to borrow it from my mom, and I'm still paying her back. They had to use their house note to pay for that fine. And by the time it added all up, it was $1,343.
You want to know something?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe him. I believe that Mr. McMillan knew that he had marijuana.
I didn't know he had it in the car.
I know you didn't, but Mr. McMillan did, and I believe he used it with him. Now, that certainly would indicate to me that he bore some responsibility for this marijuana being in the car. So I suggest you get your money from him. And while the defendant acknowledges that this was his marijuana, everything else he's told me, I believe. He's not making up this stuff because he's certainly not making himself look too good, right? You understand that I don't think you look like a model citizen.
Which I know I'm not.
We know you're not.
Yes, ma'am.
But I believe you when you say that he was smoking marijuana with you in Arkansas. You are telling me the truth, aren't you, sir? I believe you. So that being the case, Mr. McMillan, you pay your own ticket, and I suggest you reimburse your fiancé for the ticket. You knew the stuff was there. You enjoyed it while you were in Arkansas. You got to pay the piper. Case dismissed. That's all.
25-year-old Kay Seichow is suing her former friend, 21-year-old Jessica Silva, for loans for a tattoo and to pay her cell phone bill.
Miss Seichow, you and Miss Silva were friends, according to what I've read in this complaint and answer. And you claim that you made some loans to her. Miss Seichow denies that there were any loans. She said that the friendship fizzled out over some man, and that's why you're here. What man?
My son's father.
She started to hang around with your son's father?
She started going on dates with my son's father and neglected to tell me.
So you got angry? Are you still dating him?
We never dated. We were just friends.
They slept together.
Miss Seichow, when was the first loan that you allegedly made to her?
The first loan was for a tattoo on her back on March the 25th.
Tell me about it.
We wanted tattoos, so we went to the tattoo shop, and she picked one out and I picked one out, and we both wanted to get it done, but she didn't have the money. So she asked me if I can pay for it, and I said, yeah, and then I'll just have her pay me back later. So we agreed, and then we both got our tattoos.
No.
She acknowledges in her answer that you paid for the tattoo, but she didn't say that that's how it happened.
No. What had happened was me, her, and another friend of ours, we all wanted tattoos. At that time that she wanted to get it, I wasn't working. I was going to school full-time. And she said that she wanted to go get hers. I told her I didn't have the money at the time. And she knew that because I wasn't working, I have a son, I have other priorities, and that obviously was not one. She said that she'll put it on her credit card. I told her, fine, I'll pay half. I only have enough for half. She said, fine. I gave her $100.
You weren't working.
No.
You're going to school.
Correct.
You have a child.
Correct.
Child lives with you.
Yes.
You take care of the child.
By myself, yes.
Who supports the child?
I was getting help through the county for my son.
You were getting welfare.
Correct.
So you were getting welfare, and you laid out, if I believe you, $100 for a tattoo?
Correct. I had just got my taxes out in February. I got $6,000 back for taxes.
You got $6,000 and the government was still giving you money?
Yes.
This is some good country.
I would agree.
What else did you give her money for?
After we got the tattoo done, we went over to my place, and her phone was about to be shut off because she was late on her payment, and she asked me if I can also pay the $300 for her phone bill, and I agreed if she would pay me $50 each month in return. And she agreed, so I made the payment on my credit card, and I have the bill for that.
No. She wanted to go out of town. She did not have cash on her. I did. I had a phone bill that I needed to pay. I agreed to give her the cash if she put my phone bill on her credit card. I paid her. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know how she still brought that up.
Okay, if she did not have $170 to pay for a tattoo, how
It
she didn't have
wasn't the same
$300
day.
cash to give to me?
Show me the date of the tattoo.
March 25th.
And what was the date that you paid the phone bill?
March 25th.
Show me. No. You got the dates a little bit wrong. Tattoo time, which is where you had your tattoos, was the 26th of March, the day after you laid out the $300. So first, you paid for her phone, and then you paid for her tattoo. When did you have a falling out?
It was, I believe, about June when she found out who the father of the baby was. And then she introduced me to him, and then we...
Months later, between March and June, did she pay any money towards this alleged loan?
She paid just little here and little there. And the reason how she was able to pay me back about $100, $150 was because I was doing laundry at her house. And each month I was giving her $25 to do laundry. Instead of giving her the money, I would deduct it from what she owed me.
Do you keep records of this?
I kept records of it, but then each time when I write it down and then my 3x5 cards get filled, I throw it out and then I start a new one.
Madam, how am I supposed to guess how much she paid you back if you don't know?
I don't have the other paperwork. That's
well,
why
how
I'm
am
only
I
getting
supposed
what
to
I
know?
have. I'm suing her for $500, and that's what's on there.
Well, that's maybe what's on here. But that's not what, even if it was a loan, that's not what she owes you. So there's another agenda here, because when you have a loan, you keep records. The next time you make a loan to somebody, you write it down.
Yeah.
And you keep records. And you give them a receipt if they pay you back. You keep a book, let them sign in the book. Otherwise, you come to me, and what you're asking me to do is guess. Guess how much, if anything, she owes you. And I refuse to do that, because I have a sense that this is more about this friendship and this guy than it is about anything else.
Well, she agreed to pay me back.
You don't know how much she owes you.
That's how much she actually owes me, because I kept records, and that's
no,
how
you
much
didn't.
she owes me.
You're making it up as you're going along.
I wouldn't lie.
Put a period. Move on. You loan somebody money, keep records, keep a ledger. Not, I don't have any records because I put it on a card, and when it gets filled up, I throw it out. What's the point in keeping cards if it gets filled up and you throw it out? This is a precise place that we're at. We're at a court. So if you make a loan to somebody, it's your responsibility to keep records. It's not my responsibility. It's yours. You got it?
I understand.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Sharon Martina Napolitano is suing the mother of her daughter's boyfriend, Deborah DeSimone, for damage caused to her Toyota Camry while the car was in her possession.
You two lovely ladies are neighbors, and you each have a child. You have a girl. You have a boy. They're dating each other.
Yes.
This is your complaint. You allowed your daughter, this young lady right here, to use your car. She was using your car one day to take Miss DeSimone around to do some chores.
Correct.
And that wouldn't have bothered you necessarily, because she's the mother of the boyfriend, right? But then Miss DeSimone asked if she could borrow the car herself because she wanted to go food shopping, right?
Yes, to pick up a couple items.
And your daughter allowed her to drive the car. The car was damaged. You want Miss DeSimone to pay for the damage to the car.
Absolutely.
Miss DeSimone says she took the car, went into Food Town. While she was in Food Town, somebody must have hit your car.
Correct.
Right?
That is correct.
So it's not her fault. That's what you're saying.
That's correct.
We'll see. What year is your car?
It's a 1995 Camry.
How long have you had it?
Approximately a year.
So you bought it secondhand?
Yes, ma'am.
How many accidents have you had?
I've had one other one where I was hit from behind at a red light.
So you had a rear end damage to the car?
Mm.
Bumper or?
Bumper.
Bumper. Only the bumper?
Only the bumper.
Was the car fixed?
No.
On September 6th, what kind of damage was done to your car?
It would be the right quarter panel.
Do you have a photograph?
Absolutely.
I'd like to see it, please.
Here's before and after.
Ooh. That's a bad one. Okay. So, you still dating each other?
Yes.
Okay, this is not going to be painful. Believe me. We're going to use the but-for rule, Miss DeSimone.
Okay.
But for the fact that you borrowed the car and took it to Food Town to go shopping, this wouldn't have happened. Unfortunately, you took the car. You didn't have her permission to drive the car. You had her daughter's permission to drive the car.
Actually, there was a couple of things that happened prior to that. While I was in the car with her daughter, it was a very rainy day. Her daughter was driving the car. The car was hydroplaning a lot, and she became very nervous and asked if she pulled over if I would drive. I said, no problem, if it's safer. We completed our mission. We did proceed home. Asked if she didn't mind if I ran back out to just pick up a couple items at the Food Town. That's when all that began, and the police report states differently, if you'd like to see it, that he even stated, the police officer, that he saw prior damage on the car.
You mean this prior damage?
No, other damage.
We're not talking about other damage. We're talking about this damage.
But she's saying that there was only damage to the bumper, and according to this, it states that there was...
What difference does it make? This damage was not on the car, madam, when you borrowed it.
No.
That's all I'm talking about.
I don't believe so.
I am only talking about... Well, you don't miss this damage.
No.
Ma'am,
No, you don't have to speak. It was going to be easy. Now it's not so easy. For the fact that you borrowed the car, took it to Food Town, the car would have been parked in her driveway. If the car was parked in her driveway, the same driver that hit her car from Food Town would have had to look for it.
Can I please say
Stop.
something?
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And she's taking your word for the fact that you don't know how this accident happened. But it looks as if she had hit somebody else's car, unless she, I don't know how you can contort yourself to do this kind of a damage to somebody else's car. But you had the car, but for the fact that you borrowed the car, it wouldn't have had this kind of damage.
Correct.
This damage. Good. Then we don't have a problem. What do you want?
Okay. She just got done stating that the car was hydroplaning earlier, okay?
It doesn't make any difference.
Excuse me. They made it home safely. She has a Jeep Cherokee parked in the same parking lot that she could have used her own vehicle to go to the store. There is no reason to take my little car back out.
Let me ask you this question. Now you're getting angry, and you already won. So you have to go, find your center.
I've been trying to do a lot of it. I've been trying to find a lot of my center.
And say, it's over.
But I would have never asked her son to use her car.
Listen to me. It's a car. She's responsible. Done. Romeo and Juliet here. We're going to leave here happy. I suggest you do the same. How much did it cost to fix your car?
The estimate is $1687.98.
That's a pretty cheap estimate for this kind of damage.
I think so.
It is. Anything else? Romeo, Juliet. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $1687.98. Thank you. That's all.
26-year-old Lauren Wilson is suing former roommate Natasha Safai for destroying her clothes and other belongings. She is also seeking the return of 1 month's rent.
Miss Wilson, the defendant was a friend of yours, and there came a time, sometime last year, that she invited you to come down to Florida to live with her. For whatever reason, you decided to take her up on that offer and move to Florida from where?
Salisbury, Maryland.
The understanding, according to you, was that the first month she would forgive the rent,
right,
and then you would be able to get a job, start paying your share of the expenses. According to you, you got down to Florida in November.
It was the first week in November, yes.
And according to you, at some point in November, you gave her a check for $175.
No, it was cash.
Cash. For $175 for next month's expenses.
In anticipation of December's rent, yes.
When did you give that to her?
I think it was about the 11th or the 12th of November.
Is that correct, Ms. Safari?
Yes.
Good. So mid-month, you gave her rent towards December.
Right.
And then you had a falling out. When was the falling out?
It was pretty much steadily. We were just bickering all the time.
What was the date she told you to leave?
It was the 16th of November.
And at that time, she told you that you had 24 hours to get your stuff out.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
And you claim that when you finally were able to get all of your stuff, some had been destroyed.
Yes,
with
a
bleach.
lot of it is
Had been destroyed, and some electrical items that you brought had been placed outside on the front porch, and by the time you got to get them, they were gone.
Right.
Ms. Safai says that she did not destroy your property, and she put out the property because you did not come within 24 hours to get your property, and she wasn't keeping it in the house, aside from the fact that she thought you were staying home all day fooling around with her boyfriend.
Right.
Which is why you told her to leave.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes.
What made you think she was fooling around with your boyfriend, Miss Safai?
Because a roommate that I had staying there that was getting ready to move out was also home during the day, and she was informing me that Lauren and my ex-boyfriend were spending a lot of time together during the day in the room. They were also making phone calls back and forth to each other.
So did you confront your boyfriend?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He said that it wasn't true. But I trust the girl that, had been my roommate.
So how long did you keep the boyfriend after you had her leave?
A few months. We're no longer together.
Why didn't you kick him out?
He wasn't living with me.
Kick him out of your life is my question. Why kick her out? Why not kick him out?
I did eventually, just not at the same time.
Why? Because a good man nowadays is hard to find? What is it? Well, let me tell you this, Miss Safai. You cannot give her 24 hours to get out of your house. She gave you $175, which according to both of you went towards rent. She then becomes a tenant, whether she's on the lease or not. She's your tenant. And unless there is some action that is dangerous to your health and welfare that she's doing in the house, like selling drugs out of your house, inviting people over there that are destroying your property, you don't have the prerogative to say to her, under the law, you have to get out immediately. So that's one thing. So A, you have to return to her the $175. B, you put her stuff out on the porch. What did you put out on the porch?
I put her clothes and all the rest of her stereo system, all the stuff that she had brought, I put outside.
You can't do that.
Well, I didn't destroy her stuff like that. I have my witness that was with me when I put the stuff outside, and it did not look like that when I put it outside.
Well, then you didn't take good enough care of it, madam, because then somebody else did it, but it's your fault. You can't put her stuff outside and place her stuff in a position of either being stolen or destroyed or vandalized by other people. You can't do that. So I don't care what your witness says. Once you put that stuff out, having no right to put that stuff out because she's a tenant in your apartment, you are responsible for anything that happens to it. That's it. It's not a hard case. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $383. That's all.
$383?
$1,383.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're right.
Jennifer Day is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old Spencer Fenimore, for breaking a lease. Spencer claims there was no lease to break.
Miss Day, you and Mr. Fenimore lived together for a period of time, signed a lease on an apartment, lived together during the course of that lease. The lease was renewed, according to you, for another 6 months, and Mr. Fenimore moved out after a month or so. You want him to be responsible for his half of the remainder of the lease. Mr. Fenimore, while he acknowledges that you signed an initial lease together, his defense is that he did not sign the renewal that you must have signed for him. You knew that he was intending to leave, that things weren't going well between the two of you, and he is not responsible for the second part of the lease. So can I see the first lease that you signed? When did you move in together?
It was, I believe, December 2004.
Well, the lease was signed November 2005.
I think it was 2004. I'm not real correct on that.
Well, what am I looking at? November 29, 2005. What?
That's probably our renewal lease.
I didn't ask for the renewal. I asked for the original lease.
This isn't the actual lease, but it's part of the first lease that has the 12/8/04 date that Spencer was speaking of.
Can I see it, please? Yeah. Okay. So the original was signed on 12/8/04, and you claim the renewal was signed by him on November 29th, 2005.
That's correct.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the renewal?
Yes.
You said in your answer you didn't sign the renewal.
I signed the renewal that went from November 2005 until May 2006. She's suing me from May 2006 to November 2006.
Got it. So who has that renewal?
The one that I handed to you shows that we went in the office and verbally renewed, and I have a letter from the office dated June 1st.
You can't verbally renew. Cannot verbally renew a 6-month lease. That's ridiculous. He says he did not renew the lease. You have no proof that he did renew the lease.
If he didn't want to renew the lease, Your Honor, he shouldn't have stayed there till July.
Because then you can have a month-to-month tenancy.
Okay.
You can have a month-to-month tenancy and pay every month until the landlord says, listen, I don't want to give you a month-to-month tenancy anymore. You have to leave within 30 days. Then you leave.
Right.
But you can't obligate him. Sorry, case is dismissed.
22-year-old Catherine Govis is suing the father of her child, 23-year-old Brian Epley, for the value of a computer. Brian claims he supported Catherine the entire time they lived together.
Miss Govis, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Who do you live with?
My parents.
You have a baby?
Yes.
How old is the baby?
6 months.
How old are you?
23.
Who do you live with?
My parents.
Well, there was a time that you lived together because you have a child together. That didn't last very long, and according to your complaint, he owes you for a computer that you purchased on your credit while you were together. Mr. Epley says that you left the computer when you left him, and you left the computer because he had supported you for 6 months while you were pregnant, and your arrangement was that you were each supposed to contribute to half of the expenses for the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Is there any reason why you decided to have this child?
We were together for 3 years off and on.
Together off and on, Miss Govis suggests to me that when it was off, it was because it wasn't good, right?
Yes.
Did you think having a baby was going to make it better?
No.
Your parents, did they have other children?
Yes.
How old are they?
We're all 2 years apart. I have older brothers and sisters.
So all of a sudden, your mother's taking care of a baby again?
Yep.
Terrific. And you don't even live in the same state.
No, ma'am.
Do your parents see their grandchild?
No.
I'm just suggesting to you that you just think about things before you do them. Like buying an expensive piece of equipment on credit. Now, you want to tell me how that came about?
He was going to school and working at the same time, and he was working nights, so for him to wake up and go to the library to use a computer and all that, it was too difficult and too time-consuming, so he asked me to get him a computer on my
play
credit.
with your nails.
Sorry. He asked me to get him a computer on my account because he has bad credit. My parents paid for his bankruptcy, which was a couple months prior. He got that all settled, and then in February of the next year, I got him the computer. And 3 weeks later, we broke up.
Were you pregnant when they paid for his bankruptcy?
No.
Your Honor, they didn't pay for my bankruptcy. It was $600 for me to file bankruptcy. I only had $400 of it at the time, $100 that I didn't have to go ahead and file for it.
Did you pay him back?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he did not. My father would not take the money from him.
But you offered.
I offered the money.
Oh, that's fine. So, you put it on your credit card. When you left, what was the discussion about the computer?
That he would have it paid off by August before the finance charges started coming in.
Oh, so you bought it for 6 months free
Yes.
financing. And you did discuss it when you left?
Yes.
Tell me about the discussion.
He said that he would have it paid off by August before the finance charges because he didn't want to pay any extra money on it. He told me to go ahead and send in for the $100 rebate and send that in towards the computer, but I never got the $100 rebate back from it.
Did you send in for it?
Yes. I don't know if I put the old address and it just didn't come within the time frame of my change of address or what.
A detail.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Repley. Let me hear.
Okay. We moved in together on January 1st of 2005. I moved her down there from Illinois. That's whenever we got together. And I told her at that point in time, you know, I wasn't in a hurry for her to get a job, but I would appreciate the help. We lived there for 4 months, and then we moved into a more expensive place, and I told her I needed her help at that time. We agreed she would pay half the bills and half the rent to help me out, as well as I was going to school full-time and working full-time. So whenever she left, she said, okay.
No. Okay, you needed help. And when you told her you needed help and she agreed to pay for half of the expenses, sir, in what month was that?
That was in February of 05.
And in what month did she become pregnant?
I believe it was September, October.
August.
Between February of 05 and August of 05, did she work?
For about a month, Your Honor.
Did you work?
I worked for about 3 months.
Who did you work for?
I worked for temp service.
What'd you do with your money?
Gave it to him.
You contributed your money to the household.
No, ma'am.
And we got a car together, and I paid for the car payment, the gas,
Whatever.
and
She wasn't
insurance.
spending the money on drugs. So she was contributing what she could to the household. And in August, you became pregnant.
Yes.
So you stopped working?
No. I was working up until November.
So you stopped working, and you didn't contribute anymore?
No.
All right, now you tell me, sir, about the conversation you had about the computer when she left.
Whenever she left, her family came to Indiana to help her pack up to move back. And she said, you know, she only worked for a total of, it might have been 2 or 3.
I don't care. I don't care, sir. That's irrelevant to me.
But she owed me for the half of the rent for all the
She
months
doesn't
that
owe
she
you for
didn't
anything.
work.
I just want to know what she said.
She said, you can have the computer for the money that I owe you for all the expenses that you've paid to take care of me during this time.
You mean you never had the conversation with her, I'll pay you for this computer by August?
At the point whenever we broke up, I talked to her a couple, like
No,
a month
no,
later.
look at
We
me.
were talking.
I asked you a question. That requires a simple answer. Did you ever have a discussion with her that the computer would be paid for by August?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you decide not to do that?
Because I felt that I did not owe her anything, Your Honor.
Well, feel. That's what we're talking about. So you see, you did have the discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
How much does he owe you for the computer?
After everything, it is now $1,750.79.
So, Mr. Repley, this is the situation. If you move in with somebody and things don't work out, that's one thing. She moves on, you move on. Takes two to tango, takes two to make a baby. Takes two to have a problem if they don't want to have a baby. I believe her that she worked on and off, not consistently, not like you did. Maybe that was a good indication that she didn't want to get involved with somebody who was not keeping up their half of the bargain, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what you don't do is have a baby with her. And there are things that you can do in order not to do that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You owe us $1,750. You still have the computer?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I sold it.
Why?
Because I did a change of jobs and I was hurting on money, so I had to sell the computer.
Well, this is going to hurt even more. So now you don't have the computer. You have to pay for it.
Yes, ma'am.
$1,750. That's all. Step back.
Charnita Christopher is suing her former friend and child care provider, Vashni Dixon, for her share of money paid to Vashni by the state. Vashni is countersuing for unpaid child care fees.
Miss Christopher, Miss Dixon was a friend of yours.
Yes,
and it is
ma'am.
your claim that at some point she needed some assistance. You needed some assistance with child care, and the state was paying for your child care costs.
Yes,
You engaged Miss Dixon to watch your children with the following arrangement, that she would share those child care responsibilities with your aunt, and then they would split the check. It is your claim that when Miss Dixon got the check, she kept the whole check for herself, and you want half the check so that you can give it to your aunt.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Dixon says that there was no aunt, that she watched the children, but that you wanted her to split the county check. You would keep half, and she would keep half. And she felt that that was very unfair since she had the responsibility of watching the children. She has a counterclaim, and her counterclaim is nonsense. Her counterclaim wants you to pay the difference between what the county paid for child care and what she thinks she deserves for child care, the overage, because that's what it says in the contract from the state. Well, that's not the contract you had with her, Miss Dixon.
When she told me, we made the agreement.
Miss Dixon, that wasn't your agreement that she was going to pay you extra.
She was supposed to pay me $4 an hour. The state was supposed to pay that to tell me that they wouldn't pay all of that. It's her responsibility to pay.
It's not her responsibility.
How is it not her responsibility?
Because I say so. Because that wasn't your contract with her. Now, how many children do you have?
3.
How long have you been receiving child care money from the state for the 3 children?
Approximately a year.
Starting when?
It started again March 27th of 06.
And where were you working in March?
I wasn't working. It was for me to be able to look for employment at that time.
Well, did you find employment?
I found employment July 3rd. I was hired at Glamour Shots.
So you're telling me from March 27th until July 3rd, the state was paying you to look for a job?
Yes.
To watch your children?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she start to babysit for you?
August 7th, 2006.
And where were you working at that time?
I wasn't working.
Well, what happened to the job that you started in July?
Oh, August, Glamour Shots. I'm sorry, Glamour Shots.
Are you still working there?
No, ma'am.
When did you stop working there? It's very easy to find out by calling them. When did you stop?
August 15th. I have my check stubs.
All right, so you worked there for a month.
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you leave there?
Because they weren't giving me enough hours.
Well, so you left that job because they weren't giving you enough hours, and you went to the situation where you weren't working at all.
Yes, ma'am. There was a lot of other issues with that job.
So the county wasn't really getting a great bang for their buck by paying for your 3 children for daycare while you're looking for a job, and you had a job for a total of 1 month when you quit because they weren't giving you enough hours. Something doesn't sound right there, Miss Christopher. So she started working August 7th, and now a week later you're not working. So what are you doing when she's watching your children?
Out looking for work.
What does that mean?
I have to go to the workforce center, and they work with me to help me look for work.
Well, how many days a week do you go to the center?
It could be 4, sometimes 5.
Could it be 3?
It depends on what my job counselor...
When did you go to work?
Where did I go to work?
When? First is when?
I haven't. I'm looking for work right now. My children are not in child care right now at all.
So she started to work on August 7th. And when did you stop working?
I left her house on September 4th, I believe.
So you were there for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
How many hours a day did you watch the children, or did you live in her house?
She'd leave around maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, and she wouldn't get back till like 8 o'clock at night.
What about this aunt? Do you know anything about an aunt?
I never heard anything about her aunt watching her kids before this.
Where's the aunt?
She's at home.
She's not here?
No.
Well, how do you expect to prove to me that somebody else babysat for your children?
I have the proof.
Show me. What kind of proof are you showing me?
Oh, it's the hours that my aunt kept the children. She typed this up. She has the license.
I don't accept that, Miss Christopher. That's hearsay.
Okay. Well, that's what I have.
Well, your case is dismissed. My dear, she got a check for watching your children. You have no proof that somebody else watched your children. Ridiculous. Case is dismissed, that's all.
26-year-old Jamie Martin is suing her former live-in boyfriend, 25-year-old Thomas Say, for a loan to pay his child support. Thomas claims Jamie gave him the money out of kindness.
Miss Martin, according to what I read, you met the defendant on the internet. You started dating him. He needed some money because he was behind in his child support. You made a loan to him for his child support, and he has to pay you back.
Correct.
Mr. Say acknowledges or says that you gave him money to pay off his child support obligation, but that it was a gift and a nice gesture. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you meet him?
In August of last year.
And when did he tell you he had a problem with his child support?
Probably around October.
Had he borrowed money before that?
No, but he was living in my house.
He was?
Yes.
When did he move in?
Probably in September.
Met him in August, moved in September.
Yeah, bad choice.
Bad choice, very bad choice. You work?
I'm a part-time cashier.
What do you do for the rest of the time?
Oh, nothing. I'm trying to go full-time.
How do you support yourself?
With my job.
As a part-time cashier, who pays your rent?
I have a mortgage. I pay myself.
What's your mortgage?
$530.
Do you have any other source of income?
I sold a house in Florida. I still have a little bit of money left from that.
You're living in California?
No, South Carolina.
What prompted you to move from Florida to South Carolina?
My parents moved up there and they gave me some land.
Parents subsidize you?
Meaning?
Give you money?
No.
How much do you make from being a part-time cashier?
$8.
Where did you get the $3,000 from that you loaned to him?
When I sold my house in Florida, I had money in the bank that I was saving.
Show me that you withdrew $3,000 and gave it to me. When was he supposed to pay you back?
It was supposed to be an every month payment, no less than $100.
And when did you stop seeing him?
I kicked him out of the house in November.
Why?
Because he was getting to the point where all he wanted to do was go drinking and not coming home at night, so I decided I didn't want to put up with that.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
How many children do you have, Mr. Say?
1.
How old?
2.
And where does that child live?
With me and my wife. She didn't kick me out. I was separated. And when I went back to my wife, I left her.
Okay.
That's when all this came to the head.
Fine. But she gave you money for child support.
Yes.
Why were you behind in your child support payments?
It was based on income that I wasn't making any longer.
Because you can't hold a job.
Listen, Ms. Martin.
I'm sorry.
They based the money that I was making when the child support was set up was based on about $70,000 to $75,000 a year. I was making about half of that. Every month when I would send money, it fell further and further behind. We were supposed to revisit the issue in November. However, right before the court came, that's when she gave me $3,000. It was a gift.
It's your kid.
Yes, ma'am.
You idiot. It's not hers. If you fall behind in your child support, you pay for it. That's what it is. It's for a parent to pay child support. What's wrong with you? Don't you have any pride at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is it? Show me. Where is it?
I left it at the house.
Right. I don't think you're adorable, sir. She may have found you marginally attractive when she allowed you to move into her house for some bizarre reason. I have to tell you, whatever it is that you think you have, it eludes me.
I'm
It
sorry, Your
eludes
Honor.
me,
I'm
sir.
sorry, Your Honor.
It eludes me. You know, there are acts sometimes of sheer desperation that bring people together. You are one of those sheer desperations. When you have an order for child support, you live up to your responsibility, and you do not rely on strangers to take care of it. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, why in the world your wife took you back, I have no clue. You have family that's living?
Yes,
They must have prayed very hard for her to take you back.
must have.
It is not Miss Martin's obligation to support your kid, which is a boy or a girl.
It's a little girl.
Wonderful. I'm sure you absolutely adore her. Has Miss Martin ever met her?
No, ma'am.
Never even exchanged a meal with her? Why in the world do you think that she'd want to put bread on her table?
She offered it when I went. We were.
Well, he's going to answer me. He's going to answer this question. Rather than just accept his whooping, he is going to actually answer this question. Let me explain something to you, sir. Where do you come from?
South Carolina.
I do not find you adorable. I find nothing about you adorable. I think that you're an irresponsible fool. You owe her $3,000. Pay her. That's all.
20-year-old Kyle Jones is suing his mother, Barbara Crooks, for a loan to pay her bills. Barbara says her son is ungrateful.
Kyle, this is your mom.
Yes, it is.
It is your claim that you loaned your mother $2,000 that she needed when she ran into financial trouble with her mortgage. And you loaned her that money from your college loan fund. You were going to college at the time, and evidently you were taking out some financial aid.
Yes.
There was an agreement with your mother that she would pay you back so much per month. You claim she didn't do that. How old are you, Kyle?
I'm 20 years old.
And when did you lend your mother this money?
On January 19th, 2006.
Did your mother call you and tell you she needed money?
Yeah, on January 18th, 2006, she called me, said that she needed some money for her mortgage.
Why would you call him to ask him for money?
Given my financial situation, I knew that he would be able to help me out, and I knew that he obviously trusts me enough to help me.
Who else was living with you?
My husband, myself, my younger son, and my brother.
How old's your brother?
37.
And how old's your husband?
Same age.
So you call your 19-year-old child to give you money? Why aren't they working?
It wasn't that they weren't working. My brother's mentally handicapped. He's never had a job.
Well, so he must get disability.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so it's not as if you're taking care of him, the government takes care of him. Now, what about your husband? What kind of work does he do?
He works for a grocery store, does night stock.
So you have 3 adults in the house, at least one of whom is contributing through government subsidy to your household. You have a husband who works, and what about you?
I work full time.
Well, then how did you run into financial difficulty? You have 3 people all bringing in money into a household? How did that happen?
No savings, unexpected bills arise.
Like what came up in January of 2006?
It wasn't just January. In December, I got very ill.
Okay, so January?
In January, I had just a burden of bills. I felt as though if Kyle helped me out, I would be able to pay him back. There was never an agreement stating that I would pay him back X amount at any certain time. It was, Kyle, I will pay you back as soon as possible. No sooner did I start to give him some money, I found out I had cancer, ended up losing my job. So
well, what
if
about
I wasn't,
just a minute, what about your husband?
His income alone was not enough to cover our bills. I'm the breadwinner in our house. Always have been.
Well, you don't expect him to eat this $2,000, do you?
I don't expect him to eat this $2,000. All of that $2,000
Show
back.
me.
I don't have receipts. If you have a 19-year-old living in your home.
Okay, so you're telling me you don't have receipts for paying him back, but what you did was you allowed him to live rent-free and you gave him spending money.
Oh, and I actually have some receipts where I paid his doctor's bill. I have receipts where I've paid to repair the damages that he's done to my home with his BB guns, with his homemade potato launcher or whatever it is. You know, it's not as though I just didn't give him money. I gave him money, but never thinking that I should have to get a receipt from a child who lives in my house, who I support.
Absolutely, madam. You wouldn't have to get a receipt. You wouldn't have to keep notations unless you would borrow $2,000 from him that you said you were going to pay back. And you did say you were going to pay him back, because ultimately he has to pay back the government that $2,000. That's not free money.
I know. I went to school myself. I obtained my degree in 2002, working full-time, going to school full-time, and raising an ungrateful teenager.
If I only had 5 of these ungrateful teenagers who went through college on student loans with no help from their parents.
No help from his parents.
Well, I don't hear any money that you gave him towards tuition, room, and board when he was living in school. Did you pay his tuition? Did you pay his room? Did you pay his board? Did you pay for his books while he was living in school?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's what I just said. He had no help from you. He took out student loans, he took out grants, and you took money from that to pay your mortgage. When you have 3 adults in your house, one of whom doesn't work but gets government subsidy, I'm sure substantial government subsidy because it's at least $600 a month. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Of course. And I say at least. And your mortgage is how much a month?
$1,000.
$1,000 a month. So his money alone practically covers the mortgage, so that it's just the rest of the bills that you have in the house.
Can I show you some email and some evidence from him?
Evidence that shows what?
The damages that he's done to my home. I
That's
wouldn't
what
think of
teenagers
suing
do.
him.
That's what teenagers do.
Oh, they put
Under
BB
ordinary
holes in every wall of your house.
Let me tell you something, madam. You owe him $2,000. Be a good mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
22-year-old Lindsay Allen is suing eBay seller 26-year-old Karen Stevens for selling her a fake Louis Vuitton purse. Karen insists the purse is real.
Miss Allen, you purchased what you believe to be an authentic designer bag on the internet from the defendant. I think you paid $250 for it. When it arrived, it was your belief that it was a fake.
Yes.
And you spent another $35 to have someone examine it. And you are going to be showing me, according to your complaint, that it was determined that the bag was, in fact, a fake.
Yes.
Ms. Stevens says there is no way that the bag was fake, and she's going to prove to me that the bag was authentic. Can I see the bag, please?
Yes.
Why did you want this bag, by the way?
I just have always wanted an authentic Louis Vuitton purse. I did not know that what I was getting was a replica. I do have a real one here to compare.
I'd like to take a look at it, please.
The serial number on the authentic one is underneath the pouch.
This pouch?
Yeah, the interior pouch, right underneath it.
Oh, you would never know that unless you looked very carefully.
And there's no serial number on the replica as well. As you can see also, the stitching is uneven. In authentic Louis Vuitton purses, the stitching is usually close to perfect.
There are several things that are different.
Yes.
There is no authentication on the lock, and there is an authentication on the lock on this one. Have you ever examined a real one as compared to this one?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Stevens, what do you do for a living?
I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I sell on eBay.
Where did you get this bag from?
My mom.
Where did she get it from?
A good friend of hers. It was actually a gift.
Well, it's a fake.
I don't believe that it is.
Yeah, it is. Sure it is. Would you send it back to her? She's going to look at several things. First of all, she's going to look at the piping. She's going to look at the serial numbers inside. She's going to look at the lock. First, take a look at the lock on both. Take a look at the lock on the real one. Turn it over. One also has a serial number on the bottom. The one that you sold her does not.
Yes.
Now open up the real one. Open up the flap, and you'll see a serial number underneath the flap. See the serial number?
Yes.
Open up yours. See a serial number?
No, I do not.
Got it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You look like a very nice lady. She wants her money back. When did she call you and tell you that she wanted her money back?
She emailed me the purse saying that it was fake, and I said that I didn't believe that it was. And if she did believe that it was fake, I sent 7 different very detailed pictures to her of the purse that show the stitching. If she had any idea that it wasn't authentic or thought that it wasn't, I sent extra pictures.
Listen to me. You sent her the pictures for her to try to prove that it was a real purse.
Exactly.
But it's not.
But why did she not argue that if she thought that it was? Because I'm not a cheater or a stealer.
Now, I understand that, but she wanted her money back. And if you had said, listen, if you're dissatisfied with the purse, I'll give you your money back, we wouldn't be here today. But in order for her to prove to you that it was fake, she took it to somebody to authenticate it. Do you have the report? Can I see it, please?
Yes.
You want to sell things? That's what happens. I mean, if you don't know that something is authentic and you advertise it as a Louis Vuitton bag, you're advertising it as an authentic Louis Vuitton bag. Yes. Turns out that it is not an authentic Louis Vuitton bag. I can see that. I've shown you some examples of where you can look and see it. I don't think you're a dishonest lady. I think you thought perhaps she was mistaken. Maybe you thought she was trying to scam you and would send you back a different bag, which is what you say in your answer. In the meantime, the big bag goes back to the plaintiff. The little bag stays with the defendant, and she gets her money back, plus the cost of the expert, $285. Thank you very much. You're two nice ladies.
তোমার জাহিদ ভাই একটু চেষ্টা করেছিল, জানি না কতটুকু মিন করে বলেছিল, বিয়ের পরে বলছে তুমি কি পড়তে চাও, আমি বলছিলাম না।
জাহিদ ভাই তো আমাদের সব বলে গেছে যে মৌয়ের কারণেই আসলে আমাদের সংসারটা এভাবে লাস্টিং করেছে, এবং মৌ যতটা ভালো মানুষ ততটা ভালো মানুষ আমি না, এই কথাগুলো কিন্তু আমাদেরকে উনি বলেছেন। তো আপনি আপনার পক্ষে একটু কিছু বলুন আমাদেরকে, কারণ হয় না যে সংসারে সবাইকেই কম্প্রোমাইজ স্যাক্রিফাইস করতে হয়, সেটা জাহিদ ভাই যেমন করেছে, কিন্তু একটা নারীর কিন্তু আরও অনেক বিশাল ভূমিকা থাকে, তাকে অনেক কিছু টেক কেয়ার করতে হয়। আপনি কাজ কমিয়ে দিয়েছিলেন, আপনি হয়তো পড়াশোনাটাও শেষ করেননি, এই কম্প্রোমাইজ স্যাক্রিফাইসের জায়গাগুলোকে একটু বলবেন আমাকে।
সত্যি কথা বলতে কোনো কম্প্রোমাইজই আমি আসলে মনে করিনি যে কম্প্রোমাইজ করেছি
সংসারের জন্য।
হ্যাঁ, হয়তো তার কারণে আমার কষ্টটা কম হয়েছে। আমি জানি না কেন আমার সবসময় বিয়ের পরে, আর তোমার জাহিদ ভাইকে দেখতে অনেক অনেক বড়সড় একটা মানুষ লাগবে, কিন্তু ভেতরে কিন্তু সে খুব তার দায়িত্ব অন্যের উপরে দিয়ে দেওয়ার একটা মানুষ, কিন্তু সে কিন্তু দায়িত্ব নেয়ার মানুষ না। হয়তো তোমাদের কাছে দেখলে মনে হবে জাহিদ ভাইকে খুব বড় সড়ো একটা হাট্টাকাট্টা মানুষ যে কিনা সব কিছুর দায়িত্ব নিচ্ছে, তা কিন্তু
মাঝে মধ্যে জাহিদ ভাই শিশুর মতো মানুষ।
হ্যাঁ, বেশিরভাগই কিন্তু তাই, বাড়িতে সে তাই। তো বাড়িতে ওভাবে হয়তো বড় হয়েছে কারণ ও একটা ছোট ছেলে, বাড়ির কোনো দায়িত্ব ওরকম করে কিন্তু সে নেয়নি, তবে অনেক বড় বড় দায়িত্ব পালন করেছে অন্যভাবে। কিন্তু দায়িত্ব মানে কি, ধরো মাকে যে তুমি প্রশ্নও করেছিলে যে মাকে ওষুধ দেওয়া বা করা, খেয়াল করা, ওগুলো কিন্তু সে কখনো করেনি, ওই যে এরকম এরকম করে আদর করে চলে গেছে। অনেক ক্ষেত্রে আবার অনেক রকম দায়িত্ব সে পালন করেছে অন্যভাবে। এখন আমার বিয়ের পর থেকে আমি সবসময় লক্ষ্য করেছি খুব সুন্দর করে জাহিদ কিন্তু আমার কাঁধেই দিয়ে দিয়েছে সব কিছু। আমার অলওয়েজই তখন মনে হচ্ছে যে সংসারটা দেখা, বাচ্চা দেখা, ওদেরকে মানুষ করা, স্কুল করানো, এটা বোধহয় আমারই দায়িত্ব, এগুলো বোধহয় জাহিদের কিছু দায়িত্ব না। এবং এমনভাবে আমি আসলে কিছু কিছু জিনিস করেছি যেটাতে আমার মা অনেক সময় বিরক্ত হতো। যেমন ধরো পুষ্পিতার জ্বর এসছে, তোমার জাহিদ ভাই শুটিংয়ে গেছে আউটডোরে, আমার এটার হ্যাবিট ছিল না তোমার জাহিদ ভাইকে ফোন করে বলা যে পুষ্পিতার জ্বর এসছে। মা কিন্তু আমাকে বলতো জাহিদকে জানিয়েছ, তো ও কী করবে, ও তো শুটিংয়ে গেছে, তাতে কি ওর বাবা। আমি কিছুই ওকে কানে দিতাম না। আমি যে ওদেরকে কখনো হসপিটালাইজড করেছি, বিশেষ করে আমার দুটো বাচ্চাই 8 মাস বয়সে একই একটা অসুখে দুজনই আক্রান্ত হয়েছিল, 7-8 মাস বয়সে। তখন ওই যে সব কিছু মুখে দেয়, তোমার ছেলে বড় হয়েছে দেখবে একটা টাইমে ওরা যে কোনো কিছু ঠাস করে মুখে দিয়ে দেয়। ওখান থেকে একটা অসুখ হয়েছিল ওদের দুজনেরই, ডায়রিয়া, এবং খুব বাজে একটা ডায়রিয়া, যেটাকে বলে কি যেন একটা বলতো তখন, লোটা ভাইরাস এরকম। আমি দুজনকেই হাসপাতালে ভর্তি করার পরে তোমার জাহিদ ভাই জেনেছে যে ওরা হসপিটালাইজড। আমি এরকম পেরেশানি করতে পছন্দই করি না, সব কিছু আমার নিজের কাঁধের উপরে নিয়ে নিতে কিন্তু আমি অভ্যস্ত। একটা সময় হয়তো তখন বয়স কম ছিল, করে গেছি। আজকাল যেটাতে আমি বিরক্ত হয়ে যাই, এক এক সময় রাগ হয়ে উঠি, বলে ফেলি তোমার জাহিদ ভাইকে, কিন্তু আসলে আমাকে কিন্তু দিতে হয়নি, আমি না নিয়ে নিয়েছি।
আর পড়াশোনার বিষয়টা
এটা আমি অবশ্য সত্যি কথা যদি জিজ্ঞেস করো নিজেরই দোষ দিব। তোমার জাহিদ ভাই একটু চেষ্টা করেছিল, জানি না কতটুকু মিন করে বলেছিল, বিয়ের পর বলেছে তুমি কি পড়তে চাও, আমি বলছিলাম না। আমি জানি না, আমি সবসময় পড়াশোনাকে খুব ভয় পেতাম। তবে এটা সত্যি, যখন আমার ছেলেকে আমি জারিফ যখন পেটে, তখন আমি আমার একা লাগতো, খুব খারাপ লাগতো, এবং আমার তখন খুব পড়াশোনা করতে ইচ্ছা করতো। কিন্তু সেই সময়টা আমি আর পড়াশোনা করতে পারিনি। ভেবেছি আমাকে কিভাবে মানুষ নিবে, আমি তো একটা পরিচিত মানুষ, এতখানি বয়স হয়ে গেছে, এখন কোথাও পড়তে যাব। প্রাইভেট অনেক ইউনিভার্সিটি ছিল আমার বাড়ির উল্টো দিকেই। খুব আমার মেজো বোনটা মিতি আমাকে খুব এনকারেজ করতে, বলতো যে পড়, কিন্তু লজ্জায় সব কিছু মিলে। আর আমি তখন এক্সপেক্টিং, হ্যাঁ তোমার খালি এক গল্প, আমি এক্সপেক্টিং, তো ওটাও আমার কাছে লাগতো। আমি কিন্তু তখন কিন্তু খুব পড়তে ইচ্ছা করতো।
এমনি কখনো বিজনেস করবার ইচ্ছা হয়নি?
ইচ্ছা হচ্ছে কিছু নিয়ে নিজেকে ব্যস্ত রাখতে ইচ্ছে হচ্ছে। যেমন ধরো আমি সবসময় চেয়েছি শুটিংয়ের বাড়িগুলো সাজাতে, যেটা একসময় আমার কাছে মনে হতো একঘেয়েমি। পেছনের বাড়িগুলো ডিজাইনগুলো একই রকম, পর্দাগুলো একই। সবসময় আমি বলতাম যে প্লিজ আমি পেছনে কাজ করি, সেট ডিজাইন করি। ওগুলো আসলে তোমার জাহিদ ভাই কখনো ইন্টারেস্টেড হয়নি, ভেবেছে মানুষে ওই যে বাচ্চা লোকে কিছু বলবে, সেজন্য আমাকে দেয়নি করতে। তবে ব্যবসা বলো, ব্যবসার জন্য না, আমার নিজেকে ব্যস্ত রাখাটা আমি সবসময় চেয়েছি কিছু না কিছু কাজ করতে, যেটা আমাকে সবসময় আমার মা খুব এনকারেজ করেছে এবং বারবার বলেছে ব্যস্ত থাকো। চুপ করে বসে থাকা আইডল সময় বা ওই যে কুটনামি করা, টেলিফোনে ঘন্টার পর ঘন্টা কাউকে নিয়ে গল্প করা বা গসিপ করা, এটা আমার কোনো দিন করিও নি, আমার ভালোও লাগেনি। আমি তার চেয়ে আমি অনেক বেশি এনজয় করেছি আমার নিজের বাড়ি রং করতে, কিংবা আমার ওয়াল মুছতে, কিংবা আমার কিচ্ছু ভালো লাগছে না আমি বসে সেলাই করেছি। সেলাইয়েরও কিন্তু আমার ভীষণ নেশা। আমি শাড়িতে ফলস লাগাতে ভীষণ ভালোবাসি। আমি বোনদের বাড়িতে বা মায়ের কাছে গেলে এরকম গাঁঠি ধরে ফলস নিয়ে আসতাম, এবং তোমরা যেমন একটা নতুন বই আনলে মনে হয় না কতক্ষণে পরবো, আমার খুব মজা লাগতো। আমি মাকে বলতাম দাও শাড়ি, নতুন শাড়ি কিনেছো, এটা আমার নেশা ছিল। সবার কাছ থেকে আমি শাড়ি নিয়ে এসে ফলস লাগিয়ে দিচ্ছি। আমার এমনও গল্প আছে, আমার ননাস আমার বাড়িতে এসছেন, হয়তো আমার শাশুড়িকে দেখতে, আমার শাশুড়ি আছেন, খাওয়া দাওয়ার পরে আপাকে জোর করে বলছে আপা শাড়িটা খুলে রাখো, আমার নাইটি পরে একটু শুয়ে থাকো। কারণ ঢুকতেই আমি লক্ষ্য করেছি ওনার শাড়িতে ফলস নাই। আমি বলছি আপা শাড়িতে ফলস, আবার চুপ কর। মেজ আপা, আমার তোমার জাহিদ ভাইয়ের মেজো বোন, ওনারা দুজন আম্মা আর মেজপা ঘুমিয়ে গেছেন, ঘুম থেকে যখন উঠেছেন উঠে তাকে শাড়িতে ফলস লাগিয়ে দিয়েছে। আমার এরকম ঘটনা আছে, মানে এটা আমার নেশা। তো নিজেকে ব্যস্ত রাখার জন্য আমি কাজ করতে চেয়েছি, ব্যবসা করার জন্য।
যদি আপনাকে এখন সুযোগ দেওয়া হয় ব্যবসা করতে পারবেন, আপনি কোন সেক্টরটাকে বেছে নেবেন?
যে কোনো সেক্টর। তুমি আমাকে যদি বলো এখন ব্যবসা করতে পারবেন, আমি মনে করি আমি চাইবো একটা খাবার রেস্টুরেন্টের মতন এরকম কিছু করতে, যেটা আমার মায়েরও খুব শখ ছিল। আমার কিছু বন্ধুকে নিয়ে আমাকে নিয়ে করার তার খুব শখ ছিল, এবং বলতো চল আমরা এমন কিছু করি। আমার মায়ের হাতের রান্না কিন্তু একটু অন্য ধরনের, তো সেই খাবারগুলো নিয়ে চল একটা জায়গা করি। এবং আমার মা ভীষণ আর্টিস্টিক একজন মানুষ ছিলেন, তো ওটার নাম আমার দেওয়ার ইচ্ছা ছিল, আমার মায়েরই দেওয়ার ইচ্ছা ছিল, নানু উনিস কিচেন। তো ওরকম তুমি যদি আমাকে বলো আমি সেরকম একটা কিছু করতে পারবো, কাপড় দিয়ে করতে পারবো। বিপ্লব সারাক্ষণ আমাকে বলেছে বৌদি তোমার কিচ্ছু করতে হবে না, তুমি এত সুন্দর ব্লাউজ পরো বা ব্লাউজ বানাও, তুমি শুধু আমার একটা সেকশনে তুমি ব্লাউজ বানাও, আমি তোমার এক্সক্লুসিভ দিয়ে আমি করব। আমি ওর কথাও শুনিনি তখন, এখন মন খারাপ লাগে, কারণ ও কিন্তু আমাকে আরও 18-20 বছর আগে বলেছে কথাটা, আজকে না।